What's going on, everybody? This is another BTN, for short of Breaking the Narrative podcast. I am your host today, also real Mark Anthony, also known as the
Oh
Black Clark
man,
Kent. Um, got my homies here. Introduce yourselves, fellas.
I'm Teddy.
I'm Tony.
All right.
I'm
And
also amazed.
I'm
Amazed at
I'm
what?
the black Green Lantern, the Black Lantern. Since we doing the nickname thing.
Oh, true,
they
true, true. Yeah, first time back, so they got to crack the jokes. But today, subject that we got for you today is, nature or the ocean. You know, what are we thinking about the ocean right now? Are we afraid of it, or, we with it? Like, what's out there? It's so many discoveries that we got going on. So, how do y'all feel about the deep blue sea?
Fuck no. That's like the best answer I can give you.
And the short, but why? Like, what's going on with the deep blue sea for you that bothers you so much? I mean, I'm sure everybody has their reasons, but what you got going on?
You don't know what's down there. Point blank, period. There's so much stuff we have not come across yet. We've explored damn near nothing. And we're still coming up with millions of species that we haven't seen.
This is true.
It's an unfortunate situation we've found ourselves in where we become so cocky as a species that we feel as though we're so dominant. There's nothing that can touch us, and we keep going in the ocean thinking that nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of people is just like really curious about it because, to be honest, that's a whole nother world separated from here. Kind of like how they portrayed Atlantis. I don't think you can do it any better than that. It's a whole entire world down there, and we just only know what it is that we see at the surface. It's so many creatures and whatever it is that you want to call them down there, ships and bodies or whatever down at the deep blue sea that we have yet to see. I know they keep coming up with these new forms of spiders and crabs. First and foremost, you telling me that there's spiders in the water? I hate the spiders on land.
I love spiders.
They got the diving bell spiders, the one that encase themselves in a cocoon.
Mike just told me about that the other day, and you said they do what now?
They encase themselves in a cocoon like web, so that they can spend pretty much their entire life underwater.
See, fuck all that. Fuck.
Well, that sounds kind of cool right there.
No.
Yeah. So I'm scared of the ocean, but now I'm starting to think like the more we get into it, the more cool it's about to sound. So I don't know.
I have no see. I think the ocean is fascinating. I love learning about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not getting in it.
Yeah, like, have y'all seen the movie Underwater?
Nope.
No.
Oh, well, first and foremost, y'all definitely have to watch that. I think they're like on to something with that movie.
Okay.
For sure,
Break it down.
So of course you got these people who were working on the water rigs, and the rig actually started to implode and fill up with water. Of course, typically because you're underwater, it's like a whole entire base.
Right.
And so it basically started filling up with water. Everyone had to evacuate. Of course, there's certain areas that did not implode and get encased with water, but so they had to fix the rig in order to continue. But it started to get much deeper because they just started to discover certain things because they found themselves having to survive from whatever was actually out there. There was this species that was out there that really they were cocooning themselves. They were like hanging from something like bats, and it was like millions of them. And so they just kept kept finding themselves in situations where they had to survive because they kept getting picked off one by one. And it was just like other things they had to worry about. For one, you're underwater.
Right.
Certain things, like all types of problems that if a human being is underwater, they got hit with. For example, their suit, because they had things that was like spacesuits, like astronauts and shit. Fucking one person's helmet cracked open or whatever, and his head fucking exploded inside of his helmet. It's like shit
From the
like
water
that.
pressure?
The body, yeah, everything. Their body was like literally folded the fuck in and shit because of the water. But then you still got these things just trying to pick off at you. And they reminded me of squids because the one they had tentacles,
Right.
and two, squids do this shit. Squids literally they will try to body you by trying to pull off your fucking mask while you're underwater. So like it was shit like that. But these creatures they kept advancing and trying to kill them and take them out. And really, it was like a territorial display. It's like you're in our world now. You gotta get the fuck out, or whatever. But also, it was like they try to keep what was down there hidden because there was an even bigger one. And it was just like the mama of it all, and it was like it was bigger than a typical Leviathan or how we would envision a Leviathan. This joint was big as fuck.
So
Bigger than
technically, it was like sort of like the ant colony type of thing. So
yeah,
where they're
it was
protecting the
yeah.
queen?
So this thing was trying to take him the fuck out because one survived and was about to make it to the surface in this little pod, and the monster was just like, "Fuck no, I'm not having that. Like nobody's making it out." But the rig or whatever exploded and took out the species and shit like that. But what I got from the movie was just like, one, you can't fuck with the underwater. That's a totally different world, like I said. And the thing is, it's just like us as people, when we try to discover shit, of course things are gonna go wrong because we don't know how to fucking, we can be very irresponsible and shit like that. Just can't leave shit alone. So the world's gonna fight back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically the premise of what the movie was. It's just like, yeah, this new world is fighting back. You're trying to discover too much, and you're trying to make it your own. You're trying to expose too much. You shouldn't have came here. You dig too deep, metaphorically, because they had a whole oil rig down there at the bottom digging and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was just like, nah, like I'm the queen of the sea, and you're in my kingdom, and it's time for you to go.
Yeah. It's equivalent to the descent.
Yeah,
Like you
well,
going where you ain't supposed to be going.
Yeah.
You find shit you ain't supposed to find.
Right.
yeah. And I really think that's the actual thing with the actual ocean. It's just like, there's a reason why we cannot, or it's difficult for us to adapt going down there, because we don't fucking belong there.
Mm-hmm.
But just the unknown is what draws us to everything. We gotta find out what's down there. Like, damn, man, I just found a new species of crab. I just found a new species of dolphin. I ain't fucking know this. First and foremost, we are still discovering shit on land.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's our world, We still discovering shit on land, and we ain't fucking know it. But we, again, this is another border that we're crossing, and we call ourselves adapting, and we're going to try to find shit. But see, the thing is, though, I don't think that we're ready for that,
Mm-hmm.
because eventually something's going to take you out. And the thing is, I think there have been some discoveries. It's just that there have been those who discovered it didn't make it back to tell the story.
Yeah, I believe that too. Cause I don't know if you heard about the little oil. I don't know if it was an oil rig, but it was one of. It's either an oil rig or a deep sea diving ship that imploded while in the deep sea, and what happened was like the people inside of it literally exploded. They have like pictures and everything on the internet where it showed what happened to the people. Like their bodies literally exploded, and compressed to the point where it just, like I said, exploded. And stuff like that, like it shows like you're not supposed to be there. And the shit that goes on in the ocean, like we probably will never explore everything. Probably won't. Because the water has been here longer than the land has, really. Because at one point this was probably all water. And with the rising and the lowering of the tides, then it exposes somewhat of a little bit of water. Exposes somewhat of the land. However, it's always been there. It's the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're probably both even. Probably both been here since the beginning. I would. The only thing I would say about the ocean that's like super scary is because like you really just can't fend for yourself in the ocean.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
like how
can.
gotta make the water jokes, right? You know. But yeah, I feel like if humans were built different, I probably wouldn't be scared of the ocean at all.
Yeah, if we were built to be
Like if we
be
were built,
equipped for the ocean, yeah.
if we were built like one of the more dominant species, at least that we know of, like an orca or something, a shark.
I'm
We were
glad you
talking
said.
about
I'm glad
orcas
you
the
said
other day.
that because we definitely gonna definitely jump on orcas for
Yeah.
sure. But that's the problem with us though. When we feel comfortable with shit, we try to take shit over. We get too overly confident, and then that's where like, all right, again, this world, whatever world we're in, is gonna have to humble us and shit. Like we get overly confident here because we can move effectively here on land and shit like that, but imagine if we just found a way where we can just effectively move in the fucking ocean instead of having to be in a submarine and all that. It's just like we're gonna become a problem. If we can build houses without any type of worry whatsoever underwater completely and live there for years, we're just gonna be assholes of the sea. Like we just don't know how to act.
Yeah, until you see what the fuck's down there, and it's completely different.
Yeah, and that's the thing that kind of gets me sometimes because imagine being in water. Yeah, you can't move because there's a lot of pressure, so it takes a lot of muscle to do that, and then you got something by far moving, like it's just literally flying through the air, and it's just creeping up on you. And it's just for one, it's just dark as fuck in the ocean. You don't see it.
Right.
You getting hit from all angles in the ocean for one.
Well, I mean, over the course of generations, humans will probably evolve being down there.
I don't.
Like how a lot of fish and stuff do down there.
So what do you mean if I was like, what, we're just gonna end up growing gills or something, or like?
Well, I don't know about that part. It depends on like.
I mean,
as
shit.
far as like you know how the deeper you go, the darker it gets. But the deeper you go, fish start to grow like lights and
Yeah, bioluminescence.
yeah, shit like that. So humans will probably take on the same thing when it comes to stuff like that.
I'm not even. I don't even think that they basically evolutionized the deeper they go. I think whatever is down there was built for that from jump because that's where they belong. Like there's even some fish. They said that there's some that are down in that deeper sea level that don't even come up any higher than where they're at right now.
Yeah.
That's just for them. Kind of like, for example. I guess I'm gonna say the hills that rise. The people, they adapted to the environment that they were in. They couldn't fuck with the sunlight because they're so used to the caves. That's their domain.
Right.
They are effective as fuck in the most inclement or I don't know if I want to call it a situation or not, but what the environment where it's not really adaptable for us, that's their domain and they master it completely. But the simplest shit such as sunlight deterred them.
What would be something that what you feel like is not an environment that we can adapt to?
Again,
Because I feel like even what you just described, that's a form of evolution.
The sea, first of all, like the sea, for one, the deeper you go, it's so much that you're gonna have to adapt to. There's so much things you're gonna have to manage.
Right.
For one, you're gonna have to manage your breath. Like your body is not even really built to handle all that pressure. For one, so that's
Right.
one of the. There's that. Then you gotta make sure your lungs don't fucking collapse because of the pressure itself, and then you got enough effective oxygen for yourself.
Right.
And then
I feel like over generations that would change though.
I doubt it. I mean, we got suits, but if that was the case, because people have been building suits and types of materials for all this time, but as we got these little machineries going there, if they was going to make it for us to actually go down there physically ourselves, they would have been did that. And I don't.
They might not just not have the means to.
If they got the means to build a machine, to me, I felt like they would have the means to be able to put it on an actual physical body.
No, I mean that's how evolution works though.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What year? It's 2021. Let's say we die, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 1,000 years from now, 3021, you get brought back to life for a day. You expect everything to be the same, or would you expect things to have evolved since you've been dead 1,000 years?
I mean, certain things will change, yes.
Right.
But
And that would be no exception.
I just don't think that that's going to be for us though to actually be able to. I don't think we're going to have the time to really adapt to it. By the time we adapt to it, I think we're going to be dead.
It could take a million years. I'm just saying that's typically.
There's going to be a very small amount of people, if there's going to be a need to tell the story that, hey, yeah, you know, I was able to adapt to this and I figured this out and all this, like.
But that's how Earth has been anyway. Like how humans were first, like how they first were. They weren't like us. How we sitting here right now? They're probably not. You know, so it just that's what it is. That's evolution. Like
evolution to where our domain is. Like we were able to basically evolutionize on land, but the sea is not for us though.
That we know of right now. That's what I'm telling you. You can't say that for the rest of humanity as long as humans exist. That niggas is never going to be able to live in the water. You don't know that. Like,
well, I mean, just like there's some fish that can't. There are some. Most fish can't really make it out on land.
But now they're starting to.
But there are some that are figuring out.
Right. But was it always like that?
No, it wasn't.
Right. It's evolution.
From what I've seen, like it's theoretical, but there are parts in the ocean, like in the real deep depths, where there's like somewhat like hot vents, and they feel as though like the minerals that came from that is what evolved into the human species. Mm-hmm. So it's a possibility that we did come from the ocean.
Maybe.
So I'm just saying, like there are areas in the ocean that
if it's one thing we learn about life, we can't rule anything out.
No, you can't.
That's all I'm saying. Like the same way that how you said like about fish being deep down in the ocean and they don't come up because they're made to be that deep down in the ocean. That's probably not how it happened. Like a bajillion of those fishes probably tried to come up, and what happened?
Yeah, like they didn't make it.
Right. So eventually, they the next generations going forward, they evolved into like, okay, we know we got to stay down here.
Yeah, and the deeper portions, it's a lot easier for them to survive, because the surface level fish, it's pretty much a free for all.
Right.
When you go deeper, you have the things that can possibly not see you and the things that can. But the deeper you go past that, you can't see shit.
Right.
Except for like certain fish that actually come equipped with headlights, like the eels. Yeah. There are certain eels that have like the red lights that nobody else can tell that has it except for him. But
or that fish with like the little lantern and shit.
That one,
the angler.
Yeah, the anglerfish. That one is just used for. That's used for. Yeah,
I mean, at least
for trapping and all that.
Yeah, at least the eel could defend itself at the end of the day. The angler just looks cool.
Yeah, that's it. That eel actually, that's the only one that produces red light. Yeah. Well, it's said that's the only one that produces red light, and no other fish can see red light besides the eel.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So. Yeah,
but then you might 2,000 years from now, you might never know.
Well, for one, and speaking of eels, like I really think anything in the ocean easily has us clapped. Because first of all, anything in the ocean, it just seems they're either smart by default or they just got dumb luck. Like, cause the eels, which the electric eel is not really an eel, it's a fish. And they learn to adapt, where it's just like, hey, well, we have this ability to shock people within range. So it's just like, we can take people out just by fucking having the simple defense mechanism of being scared or whatever, and it shocks people. Right. But then they also adapted and learned, well, hey, if I go ahead and raise myself up like a rod and put my chin on a certain surface of the person's body, I'm now an amplifier and I can hit somebody just as hard. But now they also adapted and learned, well, if I go ahead and grab the rest of the homies, it's over.
Right.
You're dead.
I mean, but their sole purpose isn't to like do that to humans. That's for other fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but given that actually brings me to a heavier point. It wasn't their sole purpose to do it, but how do you think they had enough opportunity to figure that out? Just like,
That's on people.
the adaptability is crazy in the ocean.
That's on people, because a eel, they don't look at us and be like human. They're just gonna look at us as like another something threatening it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they don't classify. They probably don't have brains to classify shit like this is a shark, that's a whale.
Yeah, that's names
Well,
we
yeah,
gave.
that,
Right, right,
I
right.
yeah, I definitely wouldn't go that far and say that.
Yeah, so
that,
it's like, yeah,
they're
they
that
just
adaptable, but they just
like you
they
said.
know if they want to take something out, they know the means to do so, and that's why I'm saying we could easily be clapped in there because, for one, the less education that we have or what it is that we're dealing with it in there, of course we're going to get caught off guard.
Of course, yeah.
But then it's just like, even if we know enough about it, there's just some species in there and they're just like, all right, well, I just know what the fuck I'm going to do.
Oh yeah, there's no way to be like 100 proof against anything.
Yeah.
Nothing in the water is 100 proof against another thing in the water.
And bringing
somebody can be
bringing things back to what we were talking about earlier, that was mentioned earlier in the conversation, what me and Mike discovered are just the total assholes of the sea. That is the fucking orcas.
Oh yeah.
First of all, Free Willy fucking totally lied to me because I had to discover that orcas are just complete jackasses because they fucking torment shit just because they can. It's not even because they want to eat. It's just because they fucking can. They're smarter than most humans, but it's just like, hey, well, look, yeah, I was telling Mike earlier, I seen a video where one was just like, well, let me see how far I can fucking throw this seal because I'm bored.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got nothing else to do.
Well, they eat seals though.
I mean, they eat seals, but
don't-
he was
they don't
literally
do that
just
just because they
tossing.
want to.
He was just tossing it because he was just like, well, I'm capable of being able to do it. It's just like when a baby picks up a ball and realize, hey, I can throw it and it can go far.
Right.
That's what it's doing. It's just like, all right, boy, I know I'm strong enough to do it. So let me just see how high this shit can fucking go up there, and just before it either bursts or burst in the sky or
But that's
burst when it
normal though.
lands.
Like you do shit like that, right?
I don't.
You do. When you go to the gym and work out, like, oh, I can lift 150. Let me do that. Like,
Yeah,
you
but
think
it knows it's taking another life. It's literally just like, I give no fucks. I want to play soccer with this seal. Oh, there's another homie over there. Man, I'm bored. Let me see how bored he is too. Toss. Like, it's just doing it just for the fucking sake of it now.
Mm-hmm.
You got these smart ass mammals out here. It's just like, really, I can muscle anything I want to. And if I feel bored or if I feel like they're not up for it, I don't care. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of normal.
they got a history of like just fucking up like all the animals that it possibly can.
First
Like everything that is a predator against, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Like they can get it.
And-
Dolphins do the same shit.
Yeah. And
Now
see,
that would be a better example. I feel like.
yeah, they're just the same. They're just smaller orcas, basically.
Right, but you know they come off as like friendly. Well, they can be friendly.
To humans.
Yeah,
Except when they're
They
horny
do
and they try to fuck
do
humans.
what they want to do. They're smart
because
enough.
orcas pretty friendly to humans too.
They are.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, for real, like, I think most of that's just like it's a bit of a mercy. It's just like, all right,
Yeah.
well, if I find some relatability to this human being, look, they have babies. We're both mammals. I'm gonna find some relatability. It's kind of like a bit of a mercy. I feel sorry for it. I'm gonna help it. Let me lift. If I see a human drowning, let me lift him back to the surface. That's their total decision. But if they just said fuck you, they're gonna do what they want to do.
Oh yeah,
And they're actually more known to do that
yeah.
than they are to
I mean,
saving humans.
If he's hungry, then obviously you might be short.
Yeah, there's
some
a
orcas in captivity will kill their trainers and shit like that. It's happened.
Well, that's not. I would expect that. I'm surprised more animals don't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it happens. Actually, it happens more often than not, which is why I don't really fuck with zoos.
Yeah.
And for one, orcas are OP. Just one orca is OP, and they got the nerve to travel in packs.
Facts.
That too.
Yeah.
Same thing with dolphins.
It's just
But
like,
that's-
again,
But that's
like,
smart though.
that's just like having a whole gang of buff ass mixed martial artists. Like, I know one person can just whoop my ass, but let me just surround myself with a whole gang of them, just so, It's
That's
just
smart.
that's
Yeah.
overdoing it.
Yeah,
it's definitely smart.
Yeah.
But why do you think they do that?
There's no such thing as overdoing it, by the way.
yeah, especially in the ocean and shit.
I think that's overdoing it in the ocean. I mean, well, of course, in the ocean, anything goes. Like
Right.
that's those are the true savages. They
Yeah.
fucking eat each other.
The ocean is literally life on all Madden.
Yeah, that's dog eat dog world out there in the ocean. So, but it's just the fucking nerve. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you already know what you can do just one on one. Nah, I'm gonna have the whole
But
family just
because
chime
you
in.
got just because you got all that strength doesn't
Yeah.
mean you got to utilize it. Like
So,
be
they
smart,
say
you know. work smart.
Absolute
not
power
hard.
corrupts absolutely, and these niggas are
That's not
corrupted.
that's not corrupted. That's corrupted.
Nigga,
though?
that's corrupted.
How's that-
It's
how's that being
corrupted. It's
corrupted?
just savage as fuck. And I don't know. I like literally, I got so much to
So,
say about
like,
these
they
orcas.
kill things just to kill it.
They
Like,
kill things just to do it. They
Well, you're
just
li-
do
you're
things
literally-
because they're bored.
You're
See,
literally in
first
the
and foremost,
ocean. You're literally in the ocean where it's probably millions of murders happening every single day. Like, and y'all gonna fault them for like, well, we
that's
might
probably
let's
the relatable thing that they get from us, that we're
Mhm.
murderers.
they don't see that. Well, they might.
Some
They
do.
feel it. Maybe it's something in the brain, the chemical in the brain that connects us with them.
Oh, niggas up there killing again.
I can relate to
First
this.
of all, they
nigga.
try to take
It's
us out because
literally-
they putting oil in our domain, and now you
It's
know,
literally like millions of murders happening in the ocean every day. What, you don't think they're gonna be like, yo, let's just kill everybody before they try to kill us?
First of
and then
all, you know, I think some of these things, some of the species down there are just well aware of what we do. First and foremost, we doing so much to the fucking ocean in the first place. We're disrespectful as fuck for one. We putting oil out in the ocean. We putting trash out in the ocean. Shit, we throwing dead bodies in the fucking ocean.
You can't say us.
Niggas probably eating that though. Not them, but it's you know, sharks.
But just like us as human beings, we're doing shit like that.
Yeah.
It is like we ain't making them no better, you know. Because I'm pretty sure there's some species that pick up on certain shit like that. Like every time I see one of these weird things with two appendages up top and at the bottom, there's this happening, and it's just like animals definitely pick up on shit.
Yeah.
And
Animals
remember,
hold grudges.
they definitely do.
Depends on which ones we're talking about, though. Like certain ones don't, because they quote unquote don't have the brain capacity for it. But there are animals that do hold grudges.
Facts. Again, orcas. I'm not getting on for this orca shit for one, but they definitely definitely hold grudges.
Yeah,
But-
I'm not gonna put this total bad name on orcas like he's trying.
No,
to.
I'm gonna put a bad name on orcas now. Shit. First of all, look at the size of orca. These motherfuckers have the nerve to just sit here and killing penguins. What the fuck does a penguin do for you?
It's food source.
They're definitely food source.
All right, so
have you ever had penguin
just
before?
well, just imagine. All right, us eating one chicken
Ain't
strip.
deny it.
Yeah.
Well, like you fucking go to a restaurant and just eat. Imagine eating one chicken strip.
Can't you do it, can you?
Yeah, it's just like it's insane, right? But that's how I see it for an orca. Like if I'm gonna just go ahead and eat this one penguin, it's just like eating one
It's
chicken
not.
strip.
That's like 1,000 chicken strips in one.
Yeah, nah,
But
bruh.
given the size difference,
the size
understand.
difference and then how much effort they put in
But
for
a
getting this
penguin,
penguin.
that's still like that's huge.
I'd rather go for a seal.
For you though.
I'm gonna go for a seal before I sit here and just try to terrorize a penguin.
But they see it
I
as a
think the-
food source.
A
Like they-
seal is not that much bigger than a penguin.
Nah,
No, it is. It is.
it definitely is.
It's bigger, but
And
come
then
on,
on top of that,
come
like,
on, man.
I mean, I get it. Sometimes if you hungry, you hungry. But I've also seen orcas that, like I said, literally just taking shit and flinging it.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, it's one of the biggest fucking things out there in the ocean. Grabbing a penguin by its feet and just slapping it around on fucking ice and then leaving it.
Yeah.
It's
Like they do really fucked up shit like that. It's like the equivalent to having a whole bunch of like Jeffrey Dahmers in the ocean in a pack.
yeah.
And they're smart enough to take out sharks in the way that they're vulnerable. Like they flip them over because they know they go into a catatonic state, and then what they do from there, they'll eat out their liver, and they'll eat the it's the liver, and I think they eat like the penis of them. I'm not even gonna lie. I think that's what the case is.
Yeah, that's just going too.
And then
damn
they
far.
just let them just sit there. Don't eat anything else, and they just let them sit there, and then they die. Like that right there, that's fucked.
First and foremost, that's an insult to injury. And not only is it that I'm just gonna kill you and just leave you there, but I'm gonna fucking bite your penis off while I do it.
Shouldn't have got caught.
Bro. Yeah, like they're assholes, but I think dolphins are worse, in my opinion.
I don't think
Well,
so.
dolphins rape each other, so
Yeah.
they're by default they're pretty bad.
I
Yeah.
don't think they're worse than orcas.
Dolphins, like otters, rape dead things.
Yeah, otters are definitely fucking. They're
But,
bad too.
y'all looking at stuff from a human perspective though. That's what I think that's where y'all getting it wrong.
I mean, of course, with a certain perspective.
Like
it
if you're an
is
animal, there's
particularly
no such
insane.
thing as rape. That's
not.
y'all are putting
That's true.
yeah y'all.
I mean,
y'all putting human
it's all
philosophy on it.
about
It's true,
just
but
the
it's just, like,
bloodline
really
and
fucked
making
up.
building
No.
the
Y'all,
population
what y'all are
of things.
doing? Y'all putting government philosophy on wildlife animals.
No, I get why animals do what they do, but it's still just fucked up. You know how they do it. It's just like to them, it's just building
No,
the population and
you're
keeping the
looking at
species
it,
going.
You're looking at it from a human perspective. That's why it looks fucked up.
You know what a duck does?
What's a duck do?
A duck will go far as ripping up the female's eyes just to get some.
It's an animal.
But you still would say that's not fucked up.
From a human perspective, yes. Like you're putting your human philosophies on animals,
Man,
and
let
then
you be a
saying that
duck.
stuff
Let
is
you be a
fucked up.
duck. Let you be a duck for a day.
I would like that.
Waddle around and shit.
Yeah, no,
Even though it's fat people, we technically waddle anyway.
Whack. Donald Duck,
I
Daffy
hate y'all
Duck,
so much.
the Organ Duck. You know what I'm saying? The Ducks got winning right now.
Yeah, bro. They have a really good image, even though they have somewhat like a dark, like.
But the thing is, that's every animal. All the animals that have good images, quite sure they do some heinous shit. They're animals.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. Like when a human calls another human an animal, that nigga an animal, Slim. Like, what does that generally mean?
But we're animals.
Well, basically,
No, I'm saying
what makes
you know what I mean.
what makes an animal is because they do whatever they got to do by any means.
Right.
So just like us, we get called an animal because we would do what. For example, if we get in a fight, we do what is necessary to actually render that person helpless to win that fight.
Yeah.
That's what will make us an animal. And how I was able to pinpoint that, because I just thought about it when you were saying this for a second ago. Like, cats will do heinous shit just to mate. First and foremost, cats don't like being grabbed by their necks, but they know to grab a female's neck just to get some. So, like, and that's what really classifies things as being an animal, doing by anything necessary.
When it comes to mating, a lot of animals got like these aggressive rituals. That's normal to them, because our mating process isn't no wild shit like that. It looks like wild. That's what I keep saying. You put a human's perspective on an animal philosophy, a human philosophy on animals, it's gonna look weird. But literally every animal does wild shit. That's why they call animals. Like when we watch football and somebody score like 5-6 touchdowns, cause a cold animal, Slim. like it's a reason why we call a nigga an animal, cause like a nigga shouldn't be doing what he's doing. That nigga's going hard. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what animals do. They go hard, bro. Like
Okay, dropping the whole philosophical thing.
but you can't.
No.
Yeah.
No, like drop it. Like we're speaking in hypotheticals now. Since you
No, this not hypothetical though.
I understand that, but this right here will be a hypothetical.
Oh,
since
you said going
have
forward.
your idea of what you have. I mean, what animals are. You have your ideas. So
that's wrong though.
yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not calling it anything.
I mean, an idea. That's like saying it's like made up.
No, I'm not saying it's made up. I'm just saying like all of that might be true. All of it like might be some fiction in it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that anything is going to be like 100% either way. But I'm just giving you a hypothetical here, based on what we are here, like based on human nature. Can you not say that there are some really fucked up things that happen in the animal kingdom?
I mean, like I said, like I keep saying, like it's the same thing. Looking at it from a human's perspective,
That's what I'm asking
we've
you
been
to do,
we've
though.
been indoctrinated Because you got to think, if there's no government, we're literally doing the same shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, we are.
Like that's
how,
all
like
I
said,
keep saying.
and that's how, like I said before, that's how we can get classified or, pick up the name being called an animal.
We are animals,
by perspective, but also animals definitely have perspectives. Shit, let two cats fighting dogs around. They ain't having that shit.
It depends.
How many?
If the dog's been trained, it's gonna be dogs that's not gonna move.
Yeah, but first and foremost, dogs definitely they have a temperament. They go based off of the fucking environment. So and it's just
if it's not trained, yeah,
just like us. No, you have a trained dog that's sitting there trying to break up a cat fight.
That's what I just said.
All right, like you got it. Either it's trained or not trained. It's just their temperament of how they feel, like how we would feel. Like, oh man, that's fucked up. Now we got to do something about that. That's the same thing. And all animals will do that shit. Some. There's some cases because we don't know how often it happens unless it's on a fucking video. Seeing it is believing it.
Yeah.
But if an animal just felt that it was just not working out, they're gonna do that shit. Shit, I seen a fucking cougar save a fucking baboon.
Yeah, you might. Baboon, you might get a rare occasion where something like that happens. But how often do you think stuff like that happens?
First of all, let me go ahead and change that around. A jaguar saved a baboon because there's a lot of people who are very savvy and educated on animals, so I had to correct myself because I'm not trying to get no shots here on this podcast.
Well, that's just the same to me. Jaguar, cougar,
cougars
leopard.
Cougars in the mountains.
Cheetah.
And jaguars would be more feasible of
Jungle
being
beast.
around.
Oh, that's just the same to me.
Baboons. So.
Big cat. Big cat.
Yeah, they have their differences, bro.
Big cat.
So, I'm just letting y'all know we educated over here.
Big cat.
I ain't gonna say we educated. We try to be. Like, don't take any of this as law. Like, this is all perspective based.
Well, yeah, this whole conversation is definitely perspective.
Yeah,
for sure. But
then that back to the ocean shit, bro.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Deep Rising?
No.
I have not.
The movie when they was stuck inside of that ship that was overrun by this giant tentacle monster that had like little mouths on the ends of his tentacles. Bro, no. It's shit like that. That like it had its own little backstory on what it is. It was just like some random I don't know. I don't know what you call it. I think you call octopus or any of those type of in that family. I think it's called like arthropods or something like that. But it was of that family, and they said that the higher you go in the ocean, they were actually smaller. So regardless of how high you were, depending on how high you were, it was just how big they actually got. So they said the higher you go, like the smallest was like that of like a pencil.
Okay.
But this one came from the depths and was the size of a damn shopping mall.
Okay.
And it took over the entire ship. And throughout the entire ship, like it was just releasing its tentacles and it was chasing everybody. It was like each tentacle had a mind of its own almost. Mm-hmm. And it kind of creeped me out because I'm just like, that could be real.
I definitely believe it's real. I just think that it's a fight to actually have that place, though, because even though the ocean is quite big, I don't think it can be too many of those Leviathan-sized things around. I think they also fight for the top spot, too.
So the ship sunk?
No, the ship didn't sink. It swam up and pretty much embedded itself into it, which technically became its new home. It was sort of like how like a hermit crab takes over a shell of something else, and now it's his home.
Right.
It took over the ship, and no one knew what the hell the thing looked like because it was just like the arthropods. Like they have like with octopus, like octopi and all that stuff. Like they can really like get into places they shouldn't be able to because they have no bones.
Right.
So throughout the entire movie, you had no idea what it looked like because it was technically hiding the entire time until the end of the movie where it actually decided to come out. and you saw how big the damn thing was. And I tell you this, bro, I was like, yo, this thing could be real. Because you have no idea how, like, what's down there as far as the depths are concerned. Because you can't see shit. And there are tons of animals down there that grow to enormous sizes based on the fact that they have so much available to them. Like, they have, like, pretty much down there almost hasn't changed at all. So they were able to exist. There's no telling, like, what was down there from prehistoric times that actually still is there.
Right.
Because we're looking at stuff like the coelacanth that was not supposed to have existed past the prehistoric ages, and it's still there. Like, we have, like, the little, the little saw fin, like the saw mouth little shark thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was supposed to be a prehistoric monster, technically. And it's still around. Had no idea about it.
Technically, like certain things like the horseshoe crab is not too far from its descendants either.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's
And then
definitely some shit out there.
there's sharks in the ocean that's bigger than great whites.
Okay.
Like,
I actually think there still is megalodons out there.
Yeah, I agree that they're probably still out there.
It's just that us typically, I don't know how it started, that we just painted the picture that a megalodon was just going to be a big-ass great white. I just think it just has to be a fucking shark, period.
mm-hmm.
And, it's out there. Because I don't know how real the picture was. I seen this eerie-ass picture where it looked like it was a big-ass tank, but the water was green, and there was a shark in it. And, of course, it wasn't alive or whatever. It looked like it was sitting in a vomiting fluid. But it was just this big-ass fucking shark. And I was just like, nah, that was not made. Like, that was just there, and it was left there, or whatever happened to it for it to still, for it to not decay. Obviously, something was in it, in the tank for it to not decay. And I was just like, there it is. That's what I would classify as a fucking megalodon. That you still, first and foremost, there was a period of time we thought whale sharks was the biggest sharks. Fuck no. There is a shark that's very well alive that's even bigger than that. Because I'll just get curious and start looking for shit. I don't know why. I like to give myself nightmares. And so I would just went looking for shit. And then, like, I seen this shit about shark. And they's like, possibly a megalodon, ? And I looked at it and I was like, dog, that joint is just big as fuck. First of all, and that's what really terrifies me about the ocean sometimes, is you just see something moving incredibly fucking slow. That's eerie as fuck to me.
I thought you liked it like that,
it
though.
just moves like a fucking illusion. First of all, what's keeping you up in the gravity for you to be that fucking big? And you're not sinking or you're floating to the top. You're just in one spot and you're just moving slow. And it's just like, literally, it's just one moment is there and one moment is not, because everything it's a fucking shadow in the ocean when you're deep enough. So, I just really think that definitely, though, there's shit like megalodons. I do believe there are fucking, what is it? Krakens out there, you know what I'm saying? Because,
I mean, Kraken's technically just the giant squid.
yeah, but for what they've shown us what a giant squid is, I think there is something that's twice as big.
Okay.
So,
I can believe it.
Like, and like I said, squids are fucking dangerous. They're definitely assholes too.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that fucked me up with squids was the fact that when I seen a video, and I was a kid, and literally I seen, it was just eerie as fuck. I'm seeing scuba divers swimming around, and I'm seeing all these little pods of little squids swimming around and just grabbing the dude's face mask and tugging aggressively, just like yoink, yoink, yoink. And it was like, yeah, ha, ha, ha. The squid was trying to pull my mask off. I'm like, nigga, you're laughing? No, you're about to die. It wants you dead. It knows what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if it's either trying to suffocate you or it's trying to eat your face, because squids also have the beaks where they want to remove the face mask. It's going to try to bury its beak into your face. Like,
yeah,
shit like that out there exists. I just really don't think that, if we deal with the water, there's just certain levels obviously we can't go to. There's a reason why our body's telling us, nah, bro, it's not for you. Go back to the top.
Squids will make a regular meal out of a human. They don't give a fuck what it is. They eat each other.
Yeah, they're scavengers like a motherfucker.
No. They're just aggressive. They're not scavengers. They're aggressive. They'll eat anything. Like if whatever's smaller than they are, they'll eat it.
Scavenger.
Not necessarily scavengers. Like they eat what's already dead. That's what you would classify as like a scavenger.
I classify as somebody who just eat anything.
I think all fish are scavengers anyway because, like I said, as long as you're dead and you get a piece off of it, they're just picking up off of you.
Yeah, like there was a document. Well, there was like a show they called Monster Quest and shit. Like one of the divers, he actually got into it with a squid that pulled his arm out of socket because he tried to drag him down.
Mm-hmm.
And when he dragged him down, he ended up going down too far and it bursted one of his eardrums, and then he ended up getting vertigo because the fact is his eardrum is just immediately just burst. Like the fuck are you gonna, like what are you gonna do after that? But then it let him go, and then he ended up swimming back up to the top, and then the rest of them, they just looking at him like, hey, we told you you're gonna get hurt down there. I was like, nigga, do you understand? The nigga just died or almost died and shit. Like, come on, bro, y'all can't be like this cool about this. Nigga literally almost died. Like was getting dragged down to the depths by a squid that planned on eating him. And they were like, in that episode, I think they were looking for a giant squid, and they found something around that size. And then I remember the episode after that when they was talking about the aftermath of it. They was like, it was so many skeptics and shit saying this. Oh, like that's not really a giant squid. You can tell it's just a light reflecting off of each other and shit. I'm like, come on, bro. You see what this nigga look like? And it's shit like that kind of like annoys me because skeptics will immediately throw out possibility of how something can be, even though they think that it isn't. Like, why are you looking at what's in the ocean as what you think up in your head? And like, that's not what's real. Like, you're seeing something on a screen, but you're trying to justify what it is based on your mental capacity and what you can possibly handle. Like, you think at this point there's nothing more than what you've learned so far. And shit like that is annoying because like skeptics are normally the people who get to judge what's real and what's not.
Shit.
I just think you got to look at it from like both perspectives. Life is generally about what you can prove, not like what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, of course, we believe that it's crazy shit at the bottom of the ocean, but because it hasn't been proven, people can't go off ideas. So I get like why they do it.
Well, I wasn't like what they were being skeptical about was a literal video of something, of what they had seen. Like, you see how big the thing is based on the image they were giving them. And they were looking at it and trying to judge it based on what they knew. That's what I'm getting at. It wasn't, it was hearsay. It wasn't that.
So it was a clear cut like image of something.
It was that. Like, you can judge from the distance and how, like, from the end of the tentacles all the way up until like the tip of its head. Like, you can see, and even the refraction of the light on its eye, you can see the distance in between and see how big it actually is. Because what they did, they attached a camera to one of the squid, mm-hmm. and then it took the camera down, and then they immediately saw like it was flashing lights. Like, because with squid they have bioluminescence, so they can detect danger.
Right. And
they communicate with the reflecting of the lights.
Right.
So when he got down there and you saw like the danger flashes, and then after that you see like a giant like tentacle come past the screen, and then they took a snapshot of that, and you saw the distance between the longest tentacle all the way down to the tip of his head, which was technically, like, you see where the eye was. And then you can judge where the rest of it was, what actually was, based on the like 6 foot squid that they had already given it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what they put the camera on. So that's what the skeptics were going off of. But then there were also the ones that was like, this is clear cut. This is bigger than what we initially expected. But then there was just like this one dude is like, nah, that's not what it is. So you get in both perspectives, but it's just like other people can't get past the idea of what they're used to. So,
or they just want to see it. Like sometimes you just want to. As long as you leave the possibility of something being fake, people gonna believe it's fake. That's all I'm saying.
And what was it that really made them think that was fake? Because of the size of it, or
because it wasn't all in one image, probably.
It was in one image. It was just the fact that it wasn't all the way clear to where he was like somewhat submerged in darkness, but the only thing you can get like towards was like somewhat like an outline and then the refraction of the light on its eye.
Right.
I think so. What the issue was for them was it's just like, okay, well, it's obviously it's something.
Right.
But what probably was the biggest issue for them is like, well, how the fuck can something that big be down there or whatever? And I mean, of course, the ocean is very mysterious. We got large things here. We got elephants and shit like that. Fuck, we got a bear, which I discovered how fucking big a polar bear really is. Standing on its hind legs, that's 9 feet. Average. I was like, shit, we got a bear that can do that? You know, imagine what the fuck is going to be in the ocean. So, and you know how they say everything is big in Texas? No, there's everything big in the ocean.
But you still have to see it, though.
I mean, if I don't see it,
like
we gotta see it or don't see it. I still believe that it's definitely a huge possibility that something like that is going to exist.
Yeah.
I mean, but giant squids are proven.
I agree, but it's like they're the ones that's out there proving it, technically. So they probably just need to see like clear cut shit. Like I said, as long as there's the possibility open of something being fake, you gonna have to. I ain't gonna call them a knucklehead, but you gonna have like skeptics, as you call them.
Yeah, it's certain people like no matter how much evidence you give them, they'll never believe it.
Well, you got to see clear cut. You got to see straight up. Like,
even if you put it like there are people like even if you put the evidence directly in their face, regardless of how clear cut it is, they will never accept the fact that it is what it is. And we've seen that on many occasions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to like literally, no evidence. You have to show them the actual thing.
I don't know. That sounds a little closed-minded to me. I mean, you can be however you want to be. Me is now like after seeing thing after thing after thing, it's quite clear that anything could possibly exist. I mean, just based off of the possibility, you can't say no, it doesn't exist because I didn't see it yet. It's just like maybe it does exist. Like
But that's like what I was telling you in the beginning of the podcast, though. With as far as evolution goes, that's the same thing I was exactly telling you.
Well, as far as us adapting,
Yeah, like just because you can't see it doesn't mean like it's never going to happen. That's exactly the point I was trying to make to you. So thank you. But yeah, continue.
I don't know. I just don't think we're going to be that advanced.
Look, now he done turned back into the.
Not me personally. Us, it's just like I say, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But I'm not going to say that it can never happen. I don't, or at least no time soon.
It will happen. If niggas start living in the water and all that shit.
I mean, as far as living in the water, sure. We've got, I believe, in underwater bases. So I believe we're doing that.
No, I mean, like living in not that. I'm talking about like actually living in the
like
water.
no suits and shit, or
yeah, like niggas gonna start off drowning.
It's definitely gonna be that one guy that's gonna have to be that guinea pig.
But the thing is, that's how evolution works. Because it's like mysteriously.
I think the
like
only way
somebody's
going to
be born that's going to be like, yo, wait, he ain't die. You know what I'm saying?
Like, so being open-minded, I believe that, of course, because there's some people that were born with certain conditions. Like, there's some people who don't get cold, or there's some people who could withstand extreme levels of heat with certain conditions.
Right.
Some people that don't feel pain.
Right.
Once that is discovered, I think what it's going to take is somebody's going to have to be willing to be a guinea pig to be tested on.
Of
with
course.
these certain conditions.
Of course.
So I don't think it's just us adapting. I think this has to be what is the word?
Genetic.
Gene therapy.
Genetically, yeah, tongue twisted. Genetically modified in order for this to happen. So I don't call that an adaptation. No, I mean, of course, it's an adaptation of the idea in the mind, but us physically adapting to that environment, I don't see that actually happen as an evolutionary pattern. This like literally has to be forced by being tested on to see which is going to work.
I can see that.
I just feel like it depends. Like the same way fish are coming out the water now is the same way that niggas could probably go in the water.
But we're also talking about a species that's known and going back appendages and shit as well.
What you mean?
Like fishes growing fins back, squids and whatever, they're growing back arms or whatever over time. These are creatures that are known for doing shit like that. We don't do that.
To a degree, we don't. But to a degree, we do.
I mean,
You cut
You
your hair. Your hair grows back. You cut your fingernails. Like to a degree, we do that, just not to the extreme.
Well,
which
we
don't know.
We all
a million years from now.
We all have that until a certain point to where it's not going to happen anymore. Yeah, we can grow our teeth back, but now we have a limit of how many teeth we can grow back.
Right.
Our fingernails or our hair or whatever until it's done. This species can do that just for as long as they live.
Yeah, but you, like I said, you don't know. Many years from now, niggas might be on that level. You don't know.
Yeah. There's a story about a kid that grew up with wolves, and then eventually his body grew into that of like somewhat like a rabid beast. Like his nails had grown significantly longer. He was walking on his hands and his feet, so his back actually sort of like curved, so his spine would not allow him to stand up straight, and he was also able to see in the dark really, really well. So it can happen. I can see it happening because also with humans in general, like if you go out into the wilderness and you're barefoot, eventually you'll develop callus on your feet. You go into water, your feet, hands shrivel up so that you can better grip what's underneath the water. Mm-hmm. So it happens. Like we technically evolve when we're in a certain circumstance. Doesn't matter. So I can see that happening more often than not. But given the
all I was saying earlier is if people did that consistently over the course of like 1,000 or something years, the shit would probably be permanently there.
It probably would. Like that I can agree with.
That's a huge
same thing
risk,
with.
We're gonna have to lose a lot of bodies in order to figure that out, though.
But that's evolution. Like that's how it happens.
It's just a matter of who's gonna be on the front line to do that shit.
That's how evolution happens, though. Right, like the first person who was like, when people probably start first going into the desert and niggas was dying from heat. Like
it's literally natural selection.
You know what I'm gonna do? So when they start looking for people, I'm gonna go ahead and put Ted on the list. You gonna be the first, one of the first people. Like
sacrifice this nigga. Like the fuck is this, Illuminati?
I don't know. I think because I think he's confident enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot.
I'm not, but I'm just saying, like I don't rule anything out, and I see how humans operate. Like your shit already grows back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe both of y'all.
Yeah, yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. Like a million years from now, niggas might, oh damn, we gotta cut your leg off, but don't worry, it'll grow back. You know what I'm saying? Like it might be some shit like that.
Genetic manipulation is a bitch and a half. That's technically what they do with the vaccine. Like, it's genetic manipulation.
Yeah.
Again, it's all a test.
It is. Sometimes it works. Sometimes that's probably how, humans died out the first time around or something.
I don't know, bro. I don't know how many times I'm gonna let you fuck around with my chromosomes just so I can see how long I can last in water or some shit,
But see, the thing is, it ain't gonna be like you talking like niggas gonna throw you in the ocean and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you probably gonna be in a nice little pool.
They learn how to swim, nigga.
Yeah, you probably gonna be in a nice little pool somewhere. All right, just go ahead and stick your head in the water.
But eventually, we was like, all right, cool, we got confidence that you sleep, swimming around the deep waters. Now we're gonna put you in the ocean and then watch my head pop up. Well, back to the drawing board. We're gonna try another one.
That's what science is.
So,
I bet you, It's tons of people that sign up for that.
It probably is. They dumb in the motherfucker, but yeah, they probably would.
Niggas be on a thrill seeking.
That ain't me.
And damn, I could be the first human to have
There's
gills.
gonna be some people that's just so damn eager to be having superpowers right now, and just like, you know what, man, fuck, yeah, man, I gotta see.
Yeah, I mean that's
They,
how
they go in the water and then realize, oh shit, it's stuff down here that want to kill me.
Yeah, but you sacrificing though for the better of humanity.
For the
now
better
what's
of the
down there has a
humanity.
taste for humans.
Because millions of years, million years from now,
I'm gonna let the sea creatures have their world, man.
Yeah, point blank. Period. They can have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just let
I
them
don't
want to
go in the water.
Because I'm telling you, bro, this is gonna be something that's gonna clap in like, bro, you on the wrong side of town.
Yeah,
it's like that on land.
son. Literally,
It's not like this on land.
It definitely is,
I understand.
and we should have learned by now from that alone.
Like no.
Yeah.
The thing is like, damn, well, we deal with this online. Might as well see what's in the water. Like that. That's the mentality.
Bruh.
It is.
Like I was telling Mark the other day, bro. There should on every beach or every single piece of land that's next to water should be a big ass sign that says, "Don't go in there." Every last one of every beach, every lake, every pond.
But for
should
what
just
though?
say, "Don't go in there."
Why would
Well,
you
see, but now people got smart. They're actually having the subliminal message: swim at your own risk.
But it's not even that. Like, bro, if you go to the beach, you don't know it's stuff in the water.
I mean, everybody knows.
Hey,
there is
what we
something
putting
in
up
the water,
signs
you
for? We
know,
all
like I
know
said,
what's in the. We all know it's stuff in the water.
You gonna die. Don't go in there.
It's basically just a simple disclaimer, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need, bruh.
Like, hey, look, you know it, I know it. You can't sit with
If
us.
we going to a river, a lake, a pond, or something, maybe, bro, you're going to the beach. That's the ocean. We know what's in the ocean. What do you need a sign for?
Some
people don't
some
care.
people just like that.
Yeah, some people just look for a
You
sign.
see, you've been to the beach a few times. You like going out of Annapolis. You've never been in the water.
Not in Annapolis, but I definitely been in the water, in the oceans.
And did you need a sign telling you that it was shit in the water, or did you just know that when you
Of course, I'm not one of those people.
right?
You know.
What do you need signs for?
Just like I said, there are some people that need it. Simple disclaimer. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not going in no fucking water.
So,
like
all right, so you at the beach and you saw the sign. That would have stopped you from getting in the water. That's gonna make people get in more. Damn,
That's just like people
Damn,
getting
I
on
can-
roller coasters and they want to pull their phone out. Look, we're not responsible for any lost or stolen items or anything that drops off when you're on a
Right.
roller coaster. They need a disclaimer because there's people that just do that shit to just make things fucking difficult. Look, you already knew
you
better.
You show a nigga a sign, he gonna do it anyway because now he done saw the sign.
Yeah, but so but like I said, just
I ain't
you
dumb.
now, but that's just building an opportunity. Like, yeah, we
'Cause
get to call you stupid without calling you stupid.
Because technically, you're not even supposed to have that shit on the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to work at Six Flags. That was like one of the rules.
And one of the main things that people say,
I mean,
is,
you wasn't
"Man,
gonna tell niggas not to bring it."
I didn't know.
I did tell niggas not to bring it, but when we was finding the shit out of the park closed, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as lost and found over here on this side of town.
The only time you see a lost and found is like this is a display of how many phones that have dropped off of this shit.
Man,
Again, fuck no to the ocean, bro. It's too much stuff down there that I don't know what's down there. Like, cause if you like, I had this image in my head like ever since this podcast started. Like, can you imagine? Like, you're inside like a somewhat like not even a submarine, like one of those little small little submersibles that go into the ocean, and just looking right outside of there is light, and in the far distance, you see a big ass eyeball,
okay.
and then it goes right past you, and then after that you just see nothing. You imagine how petrifying that would be?
Yeah, what?
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever see that.
Just like imagine you standing outside and it's pitch black dark and you just see something just glide across. You know you see it, and you're just like, damn, I know that thing saw me too, but now I'm just seeing absolute nothingness again.
Right, and this episode is over. So I think I know you. You never been on a cruise or nothing before.
I have not been on a cruise. Well, I've been. Well, I can't really say I can classify this as a cruise. I haven't been on a cruise where like staying for a week or whatever. But I've been on a boat, like boat parties and stuff like that. So I've been on a big ship. well, not a ship.
He
but a
talking. He
boat.
talking all this, and as soon as somebody invite him to a party on the
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
water,
and
this
even
nigga-
then, I'm like,
See, I'm the type of
and
motherfucker
even
like, you
then,
ain't give me
like
the water at
when I'm
all.
on a
right?
boat, I'm
Yeah,
kind
I
of
get
aware.
that, but come on,
I've
man.
been, like the most like long period of time I actually stood outside on a boat was like, okay, well, when I was going on to Niagara Falls or whatever, just to enjoy the falls or
Mhm.
whale watching, that part. But majority of the time when I was on a boat,
I ain't
I'm
watching
in
whales either.
I'm in the
What?
cabin side where I'm like
I would
able
watch
to
whales
stand
from
inside
land.
and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you well watched on the boat before,
Yeah.
but this whole podcast you've been saying that you ain't fucking with the water, you ain't that. And
I
you've
mean,
done
like,
most
I'm
of
not
the,
saying I'm not totally fucking
the
with
shit
the water,
that we
but
need. The
the,
shit
the
that look,
deep,
Mike. The shit that we gonna have to do to evolve. He's already doing it, but just because
No,
you
I'm not-
say you helping
So,
humanity evolve, he don't want to do
certain,
it.
certain things I would do, like the degree. Keep me to the surface, I'm straight. But going down deep into the sea, nah, that's not me. Like,
Technically,
the-
when you on the
the-
surface, you ain't that far
yeah,
from being that
and
far down. Is it?
so,
Yeah.
but and the only thing I've considered of going deep is like maybe scuba diving.
Look at him.
Well, like,
Look at
but not
Your
like,
whole
oh,
argument is null and
Right,
void.
Or
right.
not-
Look at him. Bro.
not scuba diving, but like snorkeling and shit. Like
I
snorkeling
wasn't
is
even
like-
with
It's the same
I
thing.
won't do
But
that
going
either.
like deep where I have to
No,
put on
I'm
a
not
suit
going in
and
the
have-
water
and
at
have-
all.
and have
That's
tanks.
because you can't.
Nah, I'm not. When anytime I got to put an oxygen tank on and stuff like that, nah, I'm straight.
I'm not putting on anything. I'm not. You won't even catch me at the beach with swim trunks. I'm gonna be in a suit because I know I'm not getting
you
in the
can
water.
you can snorkel with swim trunks. Literally, you're just having a tube in your mouth where you're still swimming to the surface. It's just that every time you keep your face underneath water, you just got that snorkel.
So what you're saying is you're scared of the deep ocean, but all the killers that's in the shallow waters, you cool with.
Well, first of all, if I find a killer in the shallow water, of course that's going to deter me from that moment.
But it ain't gonna deter you from the water.
So it's just
Right,
like
right.
but I've yet had to experience of anything that's in the shallow and
I ain't had to
really
experience
deter
shit
me
to
now.
not get in there.
Though there are certain things that do make me reconsider, like jellyfish. I've encountered jellyfish. I've
Jellyfish,
encountered
eels,
stingrays and shit like that.
stingrays.
And you still get in the water?
And no, I don't, because I don't go to the beach too often. But there's
Bro,
times
you still go.
What do you think you're gonna see once you go snorkeling?
going snorkeling. I know. Well, if I'm going snorkeling, I'm going snorkeling in water where I can actually see what the fuck is in there.
But it's things
That's
in there you
not gonna
can't
stop
see.
them. That's not gonna stop them from coming.
And then
Just
so
'cause
there's still
it's HD.
so, but I'm still gonna have a certain awareness of certain shit. But when it comes to the actual deep,
That doesn't
like,
matter. Like, once you're in the water, you're not swimming as fast as no shark. You're not swimming as fast as like you can have all the awareness in the world.
I'm still staying on the end where I still have some type of advantage of getting
You're
away.
gonna be snorkeling.
I'm
You
in
don't have to
shallow
go
water
down to
when-
snorkel.
Hey, you gonna be sitting there on the sand with your arms out and shit, like I'm in the water.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be deep enough because for one, there's still some species that can come to quite shallow waters. So as long as I'll be able to somewhat stand up and still kind of move waist deep or whatever, then
You do
sure,
know
I'll be
that
able
there's
to pull
sharks
that
that
off.
come up that close to.
I'm
Right.
aware, but I have yet to encounter that.
Doesn't
Yeah,
mean it's not
but-
gonna. Doesn't
No,
mean it's not
I'm
gonna.
of course, but I know there's
you-
nursing
you-
sharks and shit like that. And then like now, when I've seen people in certain videos, it's just like, man, well, I'd be willing to do that if I had the opportunity. And sometimes at this point, it's like, nah.
No, but see, the thing is, man, what you've been doing is you've been saying no, but your experiences have said otherwise.
Yeah, you got that's kind of like a contradicting argument.
Like,
No.
like on the podcast,
No,
you're saying
my
no to a
my-
bunch of stuff,
well,
but
my-
you done like.
My argument is going deep.
So you don't want to get killed down there, but you all right with getting killed in the
That's right.
in
mean,
the shallow. Like as long as
I
you
have
can,
more- I
according
have
to
more-
you, as long as you can see.
No, I have
Like,
the
oh, that's a
advantages.
shark.
The closer to the surface that I am, the more advantages that I have.
No, you don't.
No, once you,
don't.
if you're in the water,
You have
advantage
no
gone.
advantage.
That's my logic at this point.
I'm
And-
telling you right
and
now, it's
flawed
all.
logic.
It's
And
all.
that's why,
it's
that's
all-
why I have the confidence of doing it, because I feel like, okay, well, I'm more closer to the surface, so I was like, I have more chances of getting away. If
How?
I'm deeper, though, obviously I have no advantages at all,
You know,
because I'm
once
still,
you
I'm gonna have to
step
get to the
you
surface. I'm gonna have
step
to get
in
back
the
to
water,
surface
the
and try to
advantage is
do it.
gone.
Hey, yo, that's like me saying, like, if I have glasses on, I could walk to the jungle and be fine.
That's totally different.
No,
first
it's
of all.
not.
You purposefully threw that one
No,
out
it's
there.
not. Like, I'm literally in their domain. Just because
Okay,
I can
so-
see, I'm fine.
For example, like if you're like, say for instance, you're still like, you're at the beach, right? And you're still like near shallow ends or whatever. Of course, there's waves and stuff like that. but you still have a chance of running back from the waves or whatever. Like that's to me,
Right,
that's an advantage.
You running versus something swimming.
Like even on land, things are faster than us.
Yeah, I have a limitation of what it is that I go to at the water,
Okay.
which is just like again now.
But I was going off because you said snorkeling. You got to be underwater to snorkel, and if you're underwater, that means you're deep enough for all like shit to come get you.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. It ain't got to be nothing from the deep depths, because technically, according to y'all logic, what's down there is just humongous.
Yeah, even
Like
shit on the surface will kill you, like stonefish.
Yeah. Like,
you step on that,
he said it. He said it's an octopus the size of a ship down there. Shallow waters. That's where the regular octopus is at. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where all the regular shit.
Yeah,
is.
and which I'm still like quite aware. There's certain things I kind of push past the logic, or not the logic, but just the idea of, but it still builds skepticism because of the more that I'm discovering. The more that I know, the more woke I am, and it's just like, damn, I gotta watch out for this and watch out for that. But now it's just like, one, I've already know that there's a possibility of something much worse down in the deeper, and there's so much more to run into. That's why I'm not going down there. One, because I could possibly drown. Two, is just my body ain't built for it. Three, that I know there's worse shit down there. And four, there's a possibility of being even more worse shit down there. So that's why I'm not going down there.
Okay.
Honestly, there's more poison shit in the entirety of the ocean than there is on land.
Yeah, it definitely is. And there's even a period of time where it almost was just like, I'm totally done with the beach period, because on National Geographic, or well, not Geographic, whatever the fuck it was hearing about the little fish in the Amazon that can swim with your penis.
Yeah,
I swore off
Kendiru.
beaches. At that point, I was just like, nah, bro, damn. Like, somebody just literally decided, well, hey, I'm going to go in there and pee. Everybody goes into the fucking beach and pees. But it just took me that one time to see that there's a fish that can swim upstream in your piss and swim in your penis, and then barbs come out. I'm like, nah, I'm over
That's
it.
what y'all get.
Yeah, like,
So
I'm not in the water. It ain't happening to me.
First of all,
And-
didn't nobody say y'all gotta pee. I don't know where that logic came from. That's just
Just
niggas,
people
that's
do
niggas
it.
being
Some
lazy.
people just like, look, man,
Yeah.
it's the ocean and or whatever, you know, and I ain't running out all across the beach just to go to
Exactly.
the bathroom,
And
you know?
now look at you, barbed.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But
It
to
ain't
me,
gonna happen to me in a pool.
and see that, and just to discover that there was such a thing, that there was a fish that's just gonna swim in your penis. Nah, like no, you know.
Stop paying. Stop paying.
Matter of fact, you don't even have to do that. Like, it just
Yeah,
swims up there.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, now, first of all, there's a fish that will swim up in your penis. Now, imagine if there was just a fish that's just want to swim in your penis just because you're there.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's
they're
just-
animals, so that's what they do.
Yeah, so I was just like, nah.
Like they don't.
man,
It ain't like animals have structure. It ain't like niggas got jobs
yeah,
and all. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
So,
Like,
at that point, I was just like, man, I'm over it. You know.
but you say that, but then you'll be right back. You'll be out there. Though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm back out there.
You one of them niggas that do not learn their lesson.
Well, see, me experiencing it is what's going to give me the lesson. That's how I learn.
See, you
By-
gotta
by
die
ex-
in order for you to
by
live.
the
Like,
experience.
I'm cool with that.
Well, shit, if I die and then I'm dead, you know.
That's
it.
not what I meant. It's a metaphor.
See, now, the only thing that really deters me is because I've seen other people's experiences, but it has yet to happen to me. So I'm trying not to really live in this shell about things. For one, because I lived in a shell for so long before, and then just I'm past that now. But, I mean, I'm trying not to be scared because of other people's experiences until I actually experience it myself. It's just like, I don't know, for example, like the jellyfish thing. I never been stung by a jellyfish. I've seen other people get stung by a jellyfish and they're right next to me. That's what pushed me away from it. But the many times that I've been in there, I have not yet been stung. And then I'm afraid of the possibility. Fuck, I don't want to walk around in the water sometimes in the sand because crabs can bury themselves. And what the fuck? Supposedly, if a crab will come up and pinch me on my toes, then I'll be over it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like certain shit
That's
like
not
that.
bad.
So, like, your situation is sort of just like, if me
It's the what if,
no, it's like,
but the
if
what
I-
if can
So
die until it actually
out
happens.
of all the stuff in the ocean, that made your list too. A crab pinching you.
yeah. Out of all the shit that can kill
No,
you,
I mean, well,
on land,
for one,
they
that
didn't
was a
deserve-
fear of mine when I was a kid, but you know, that possibility never left. But I'm just like, all right, well, again, it's just literally living off of the what ifs.
Like,
But
bro,
I started to diminish the what ifs because I'm like, damn, well, shit, bro, how many times have you done this and it hasn't happened yet?
Yeah.
So
right,
it's
exactly.
it's
Damn
all
sure been in
good
the
until
ocean.
it actually happens, and it's just like, all right, cool. Well, you know what? Now I'm definitely over it because it happened now.
yeah, at this point, you just hard headed. Like, it's if it happens enough to other people, it's going to deter me from it regardless. Like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
If I hear like all of my mans got shot and going in the southeast, I'm not gonna go to southeast.
Well, shit, there's a lot of people that get killed or die or injured from working out, but that's not gonna stop you.
But
from
that's the
working out.
thing. Like, you're gonna look at that as like a real like that's minuscule compared to the shit that can happen
In the
out
ocean.
there.
In the
Like,
ocean, yeah.
that's a freak accident
All right,
compared
Mike.
to just regular
So,
shit.
question: there's people that caught a heart attack from eating a burger. You gonna stop eating burgers?
Nigga, of course not. That has nothing to do with.
Okay,
like,
so
that's
it's
a
just
slow,
like-
that's a slow death. I understand that.
So it's just
This
like
is immediate.
I mean, literally,
Well, the
it's
crab,
just
the
like
crab thing is a death at all. At
It's
least
not.
I don't think.
It's not.
Unless y'all telling me something. I don't,
Like,
I
you
don't
trying
know
to
or
compare?
something.
You trying to compare a burger to getting shot? Like, you can't do that. Like, someone catch a heart attack off of, like, you know how much you have to accumulate in order
So-
for you to catch a heart attack?
So coming back to the ocean part, it's just like you never know. I mean, yes, there's a lower chance to me being closer to the surface and shallow ends
Okay.
and the beach.
Okay.
There's lower chances. Going to the deeper end, obviously you're increasing the chances.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying I don't fuck with the deeper water compared to
All
being
I'm
closer
saying
to
is
the
that
shoreline.
you in the shallow water is still a low chance though.
Yeah, I mean,
Depending on
there's
what it is.
there's still a chance, yes, but I
No,
believe there's
a big
obviously
chance.
there's
It's a
a
big
lower
chance.
there's a lower chance unless something is just gonna humble me real quick, like well, your numbers just went up here on the.
You're in the
shallow end.
water. Your number's already up.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
Like,
know. Well, see, I just don't know what the numbers really are. I'm making up numbers for myself right now.
Yep, you traveling back to southeast, just like I said. You just traveling southeast every single time.
So it's just like, yeah, I'm here in the water. I'm just gonna enjoy myself until there's something that's teaching me because it's shit. Right now, it's just a possibility. I'm scaring myself off of a possibility. And it really is the same way for the deeper end. I could possibly do this. I really don't know what the numbers are. I just know that the numbers are higher here than it is here.
I feel like in the shallow water the numbers are very low. I feel like in the deep water
Exactly.
it's zero.
So you think there's really lesser
Like-
chances of you dying in deeper water?
No, you have no chance of survival in the deep.
Oh yeah. That's yeah.
You have a low chance of survival rate in the shallow waters. Out there, completely gone.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the point that I'm making.
But I'm letting you know, like even
it's
in the
still a
shallow
chance.
in the shallow waters, it's still a very low chance that you.
Yeah, there is a
You get
chance of
away.
you dying still, yes. But
Because you gotta think. You die like all the same way. It's just that in the deeper water, it's probably gonna be more heinous.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just
you
completely-
getting stung by a
you
jellyfish,
still
you
got
still
some.
gonna die.
You still got
Yeah.
some. You still got some chance of fighting shallow.
No, you don't. You get stung by a jellyfish. That's it.
Yeah, box jellyfish, that shit,
That's it.
you gone.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
The
do
eel-
because I don't know about all species of whatever. I mean,
The
do they
sting-
come
the-
to the shallow?
the
do
sting-
they definitely
the
come to the
sting-
shallow end?
Jellyfish are shallow water.
Well, I know
They
jellyfish are shallow water, but I know there's
Jellyfish are
ones
everywhere.
that can
They wash
totally
up on
clap
sand.
you completely. But I thought that was more in the most deeper.
No, because
No.
if you look at like jellyfish can have tentacles like 100 feet long, so that can go almost everywhere. So you have literally no chance of even seeing them, let alone being able to get away from them. Because if they touch you, even if the tentacles are detached, the barbs are still there and they'll still sting you. It's still poisonous.
How deep do you have to go in order for that to?
But
You don't have to
Jelly-
go deep at all because if
jellyfishes be on land.
it detaches,
Well, yeah, I know typical jellyfish, the ones that are just like, ouch, that shit hurts.
No.
I know
that's not-
those are like closer
That's
to
not-
the shoreline.
That's not how that shit work. Yeah.
nah, the
Well, I know it's not that simple. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's,
the ouch,
it's
that
enough
shit
where
hurt.
it's just like, dog, I'm done for today. Obviously, but like, I know there's ones that really can cause cardiac arrest and shit like that. But I know that's more so on the deeper end.
Nah, it's not.
no, it's not.
Because they're not that deep. They're not that deep at all, period.
Well,
Like-
when it comes to me being on the beach, I don't go too far anyway.
So they shut down beaches because of jellyfish.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, yeah, by numbers of by population, sure. Yeah, I'm
Not
I'm
just
sure.
population, by proximity.
Yeah. Like if
They come to the shallower water. Same thing with sharks. Smaller sharks, shallower water. Even even some sharks actually kind of like come up to land a little bit.
That's what that's what I'm saying about the jellyfish. Like the niggas be washing up on land on the sand and shit. Like that's shallow. Now sharks might not mean to.
Yeah, but they'll get their way. They'll get
Right.
back off.
Right.
Well, it might be just a product of how much exposure it is to a person. Because I know, like, when I started encountering jellyfish, I was at a young age, and it was just like, all right, cool. You know, I didn't have too much knowledge of them anyway. It was just like, all right, they're here, and we know to avoid them because they sting. And when I saw somebody get stung, they was just like, bro, that shit fucking, like, I can't deal, and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, all right, cool. So I'm kind of like, have the slight mental immunity to certain things because I've encountered it at a younger age, but it's just still something that I know though for a fact I want to avoid. But
No, you don't want to avoid it because you keep
Clearly.
going.
Clearly.
Oh no, I mean trust and believe. Like if I do see like numbers of jellyfish at the beach, it's like oh well, yeah, I'm just not.
But what
gonna
about
do the
that
water.
one that just skates past and you didn't know was there?
Out
Then
of
you
sight,
just
out of
fuck.
mind. It's out of sight, out of mind until it actually happens. Now, if you're definitely telling me, well, we've had a couple instances for the past couple of days where sharks came to shore. Oh, well, fuck it. I'm just chilling and drying up on the fucking sand today because I'm not gonna go anywhere near the water.
Yeah, you one of them niggas like you have to die in order for you to get the message. Like that's the type of shit that some niggas be on.
I mean, yes, I get it. There's the possibilities of shit happening, but at the same time, I mean, to a certain degree, because I do have my limits. I'm not just gonna fucking totally scare myself out of a life until it's just like, well, obviously, like I said, I'm not gonna go past a certain point of the water. Like for real, nowadays, I really don't go too farther into the water to anywhere past it going to my belly button. That's it.
All right, that's cool and all. Like you say you're not trying to scare yourself out of a life, but you also say we don't belong in the ocean.
Yeah,
So
to like
technically
going,
that's not life. That's definitely what we're going to.
Like going deep. Yeah, I'm never really. I don't think I'm gonna ever do that. Shit. There was a reason why I even decided not to go to the fucking Navy. I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing submarines and shit.
Yeah, I don't trust that shit either.
So y'all can have that.
After the
And
Titanic
so when it's
and
going
shit, I don't
anywhere
trust that.
deeper to where when you're completely submerged overhead and shit like that, that's just not, shit.
I can do that when I'm in a pool, but other than that, nope.
Exactly. And that's the only chance I believe that we're going to have or that we really should have is just going on the water. If other people prefer to go deep sea diving and all that, all power to you. But I'm not.
Yeah,
you're just
gonna die
decreasing.
by the
Decreasing
beach
your
and shit.
chances because now you
Because you know what's gonna happen. He gonna do the shallow water snorkeling. He gonna do it a few times, and then you just gonna have that urge like, let me go a little deeper.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
you
say no now, but
I just think I've already.
You want to go to
I'm at
haunted
that.
houses and shit. Like you one of them niggas.
Yeah, I have more of a chance of fighting or escaping in a haunted house.
No, you don't.
no,
Well, look, I'm gonna just run until I fucking.
Like this shit's gonna follow you home.
like it all leads to death. I think that's the point that
Well,
you're
to
missing.
me-
Like this is the point that he's missing.
This
Like
nigga think he's Superman.
This
Well,
all-
first and
yeah,
foremost,
they say
if
what,
you're
Black
gonna
Clark
be
Kent?
haunted, you haunted. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be anywhere. Shit, I can move.
I'd rather avoid the
I
haunting.
I could move to a house and be haunted and not fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Because that logic there works for me. It's just like, well, just look, you never know. You're gonna run into that. Whether you're gonna do it deliberately or not. So, but there's still a chance of me running and getting away. Whether it's me running until I'm running into dead ends and then I'm dead. At least the chances of me possibly making it out is high for me there. Compared to just being in an environment where it's just like, well, I definitely have to fight to get to this level in order to increase my chances of escaping. I'm just not going to put myself there in the first place.
So, but ghosts are unpredictable. You have no idea what a ghost is capable of. Like
Exactly.
they can literally shut the door and you can't get out.
And they're unpredictable shit in my own house. My house could be haunted right now.
Yeah, it probably
And
is
I
all the
still
skeletons you got
gotta
in your
live with that.
closet.
Like, and I do live with that shit. I'm like, bruh, like, man, this house is a lot bigger than the last one, and it's dark as fuck. But shit, I sleep here. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in the basement, we have this doorway where you could put whole bodies underneath. There have been times where I'm just like, man, shit, bruh. It could be something living underneath there.
It could be.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I have a higher chance of running out of this house than I do swimming to the surface from whatever deep depths there is to get to me being able to run anywhere.
I don't think so though, because if it's a spirit or something,
This shit gonna follow you.
and it flies or floats or levitates, whatever you want to call it.
whatever.
Well, I
the
have
fuck
yet
it
to have
does,
that.
it will do.
I have yet to have that experience. But shit, I mean, what
Right.
the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I live here. I live on the surface to where that is capable. At that point, if I'm like, well, dog, well, I'm all out of life at this point because I'm worried about a spirit. Well, shit, we both live on land, so I'm used to being on land and having a hard surface to run around and shit like that compared to me actually having to swim somewhere to be able to do what I'm normally
No. All I'm
able
saying,
to do.
saying is when you're in the water, you're not going to outswim something that's in the water. And then if you're dealing with a ghost, you running.
Versus a
You
nigga that can
just-
fly.
Right, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
you're
saying.
just doing what comes natural to you though, because
Right.
this is also
All right,
your
but
domain.
this is also what comes natural to it.
Right, right.
Now,
Like,
and
your
that's why I
natural
don't put
reaction
myself,
ain't the same.
and that's why I don't put myself in deep depths of water because it's like, damn, bro. Like first and foremost, I have to do something what it does normally.
But you want to put yourself in a haunted house.
I can still move.
I'm starting to think he would go into the deep parts of the ocean.
Yeah, I
That's
ain't
what
gonna
I'm
lie. I
saying.
won't put it past him,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
man, you gonna live a long
This
ass
nigga
life.
definitely
hoping for that.
contradicting right now, bro.
You gonna have to live a long ass life hoping for that.
Nigga just wanted to make us some good content. That's
Like I said, I have more of an advantage being on land than I do having
Son.
on such and such.
I don't trust. No, it's so many things in
Now,
the animal kingdom
and
I
even-
don't trust.
And even now, if we talk about the animal kingdom, of course, there's still some domains I'm not gonna touch. Like, I'm still skeptical about going on a fucking safari.
I'm not fucking with that because they got
You
hippos.
know, it's just
Yeah.
like you putting yourself purposefully in an environment where you can get clapped.
Yep.
yeah, I've been on one before.
And rhinos and shit?
Wouldn't do it again. Definitely not recommended.
Where you go to safari? What
New
is it?
Jersey.
That's not the same.
It is.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's a safari, but it's not the African safari. That's
A safari is a safari.
a different magnitude there.
It doesn't matter.
This nigga said New Jersey. Like I'm thinking, my man, he went somewhere. He went to Jersey for this.
Nah, a safari is a safari. Like, wild animals are wild animals. They might try
Were
to.
there cages there?
No.
Nah, like there are actually some. I believe there's a safari you can even go to in Virginia where there's actually free roaming animals.
That's what all the safaris are like that. There's like that's what a safari is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll pass. Nope. Nope. 'Cause-
Cages. That's like the zoo. That's what that is.
Yeah, I don't trust none of that shit, bro.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't.
mean, I'm not
recommend
saying I'm petrified of animals. I just know for a fact I don't want to fuck with a lot of them.
that. Yeah, it's definitely animals there where it's like if these niggas wanted to, these niggas could trample your shit and it ain't nothing you can really do. Like niggas had rhinos.
Yeah,
And-
you purposely putting yourself around that is
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
Niggas-
rhinos have very
that's
poor
and
eyesight.
that's my point, my argument there. Like purposefully putting yourself around shit where it's just like
Yeah,
And then shit like monkeys and shit like.
yeah.
Bro.
When we was there, like they broke the window of the car that was behind us and shit. Like just
Monkeys are unpredictable.
like broke their window. But that's what I'm saying. Like you were saying, like because it wasn't in Africa or some shit like that. Like nah, animals is animals no matter where you go. Like like you can't really train them. Like you see niggas in the circus, like them niggas be turning on them niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's because them niggas are frustrated.
what my argument was about being from New Jersey and Africa, they're bringing animals there.
Right.
That's not their
Compared
natural
to
habitat.
what is actually
that's still-
naturally
it's still-
born there. You got more species to worry about there because you're in Africa. Like, they're bringing whatever the fuck they can catch, and you're dealing with whatever they can catch and bring over there purposefully.
But
So,
that's
I mean,
still
yes,
that's still discrediting it though. And I'm saying like niggas having rhinos and
I just feel like you got a whole lot more to worry about in Africa because that's.
so you don't have to worry about
where they-
rhinos.
I mean, yes, you still got. If they're bringing a rhino there, yes. If they can fucking catch one and they're gonna bring it to New Jersey, sure. But I just saying there's other shit that you have to worry about because that's where they're naturally bred. Like that's where they're born. So you still got. Like, yeah, of course you got to worry about lions if they bring lions to New Jersey and shit. Like, whatever the fuck they bring there, that's what you got to worry about.
No, but
whatever
hold
it is they
on.
can't
But
catch and bring.
you see how he's saying it though. Like you see how he just brushing it. I mean, we bring the lines. Like,
Yeah, of
bro,
course.
they're still like, bro,
they're
they're still
you're still
alive.
there.
You're still,
But
you're
I'm
still
worried about
lying.
Africa
Like,
is because whatever it is they could not catch is still out there in Africa.
right, but you don't need all of that. That's extra filling. Like like how we were saying.
No, I'm
with
not
the,
saying that I need it. I'm just
No,
saying
no,
there's
no,
just
no,
more
no,
to worry
no,
about
no.
there.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. How is a rhino? That's enough to worry about by itself, right? Do you,
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah,
do
it
you
is.
Need,
It is.
no,
it
no, no,
is
no, let me
indeed
finish.
something to
Let me
worry
finish.
about.
Do you need me to bring anything more to threaten your life other than a rhino?
Nah, I'm cool.
No, I'm not saying there's not a
No,
threat.
no, because
it's not a threatening part.
Because
I'm just saying there's just more there.
anybody that's going to listen to the podcast, listen to how he was discrediting because it was in New
Maybe
Jersey.
it was my tone of voice.
I mean, technically,
but
I
like I said, it's
discredited
still
it, too.
something
But what
there.
I'm saying is, all you would do, once you get one life threatening situation, anything else after that is filler. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not Africa, obviously, but it's also not bullshit either. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying
like,
it's
they're
bullshit.
still-
It definitely
they're
is.
still-
An animal is an animal.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're
Now
rhinos,
there's some people
they're
that
elephants.
there's some people that just skip New Jersey and go straight for Africa.
I mean, but it just depends on what you can afford.
He's got a point there.
Right. Like, niggas can't afford Africa. Go to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's over here, that doesn't mean it's fake. That like the term for safari, it has its own term. Like, yeah, it might be a natural thing in Africa, but that doesn't mean you can't make one over here.
Yeah, I'm not doing it either way. Yeah, y'all can have that.
Nah, I'm saying because he sounded like he would just walk through the joint like, oh, yeah, this ain't Africa, fuck it. Like, like that's how he's talking. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, no. Like I said, it's probably because of how the tone of voice that I had when I said it. But no,
And like,
I definitely know.
you was
I can
completely.
still get
was he not?
on
And
a
you
safari.
discredited it, but was he not just like, yo, in New
The
Jersey? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
like the magnitude of the environment is just different.
but why does it matter? Like, how? Yeah, it's more. But all you need is one of something, and it's a wrap.
Yeah, but that's just all I'm saying. It's more. That's it.
So,
that's all I'm saying.
how you were saying earlier, Mike, with the Southeast shit, you said there's a bunch of niggas getting shot in Southeast. If one nigga gets shot in your neighborhood, is you getting shot? Is it not just as dangerous? Or is it only dangerous because, it's 5 niggas getting shot over there?
No, it's still dangerous. You just got more, more of a chance in a certain area.
No. If they shooting around here, you can
Supposedly.
get killed around here too.
Yeah, well,
It doesn't-
there's a more supposedly the numbers of it happening in certain areas.
How? But
by human statistics.
it doesn't. You're going by numbers when all it takes is one shot from one person to die, right?
Okay.
Do you have to get shot by 5 different people to die?
All right, so question.
Right,
So
exactly.
if you hear about one person getting shot in your neighborhood, you moving immediately?
No,
Oh, okay.
because we're used to it. We're used to it. How many
like
people?
the animal
How many people?
kingdom and
How
shit.
many people?
But there's
and
all-
you
there
haven't
are- but
listen.
now
You
for-
haven't
for
even
you
lived
getting
around
used to
here.
it-
You haven't even lived around here as long as I have. Since you lived here, how many people got shot around here?
Many.
Okay.
like what? Like that
So
doesn't.
if you had an opportunity to either stay here because you got with you getting used to the numbers of shootings here compared to you moving to somewhere where it's less shootings, would you not move?
It would depend. Because I'm used to it here. So other life like statistics, not statistics, but other life like frequencies would come into it. Can I afford that place? Obviously, if the violence is low, the cost of living is probably high. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, you can afford it, but it's just like I said,
yeah, I
just
would
the
move.
fact.
Yeah,
All right. Because of the higher number of it happening, right?
it's a nicer neighborhood. Yeah,
There you go.
But
And it's just like
but that
how I'm saying
but that's
with
not
Africa
That's not no
and
because
New Jersey.
But the thing is, they have the same type. They niggas literally got like lions and all of that shit.
Okay.
But because it's not Africa, he's like
Good.
he's acting like a lion can't
The
kill you
higher-
in New
the num-
Jersey.
I
No,
feel- I
I'm
feel
saying,
like,
no,
nah,
I'm
nah, let-
saying,
let
I'm
me-
literally saying like the same thing. We're bringing the same animals from Africa that do the same shit out there in Africa to New Jersey. The numbers are just higher in Africa.
Okay,
But it doesn't matter.
That's cool. That's cool. Like, let me break it down because technically, this is what he's saying. Abe, in this point, I'm gonna be blunt with it. Like, let's just say you over here, you didn't kill like 20 motherfuckers and shit, And that same scenario where you ask him, well, would he move? He moves to a different area. He still killed 20 niggas around here. He's just a nigga that killed 20 niggas in a nicer area.
And that's what all I'm saying. All I'm saying is like he's acting like because lions and rhinos and shit is in New Jersey, these niggas not gonna kill you. Cause it's not Africa. Like that doesn't like what like what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say, but that's like
it's just the project or the product of probability is higher.
No, it's not. It's not. You just
it's not. It takes one to kill you. Anything after that is extra. So if it's 100 lions in Africa and there's 2 lions in New Jersey, it just takes one lion to kill you. It doesn't matter if it's 90 other lions watching him. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter.
All right, so I'm gonna break it down to how I'm thinking it here. All right, so and what we're known for doing is we put down the threats that are happening or get rid of the threats. You don't have to naturally just kill them. Like, all right, we got this lion that's killed 2 people here in Jersey. We got to either put it down or we're getting rid of it. You still got a higher population of those species that are doing the killing that we brought to New Jersey in Africa. You want to take out an entire continent?
But it takes one.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's what I'm telling you.
And we're bringing that here. But if we diminish that, we're taking out that one species or whatever. And
I'm not. I'm saying it takes one animal, like one specific lion. I'm not saying they only bringing one over here. I'm saying it only takes one lion to kill you. Is what I've been saying.
And my argument is just there's just more there in Africa. That's it.
But it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Like that's just like, oh damn, yeah. I know. Mike's he's sitting right here and he can shoot and kill me. But never mind that. There's 6 niggas over there shooting, so it can happen more over there.
My argument is literally, we just got that one thing that can kill us out here, and there's a whole lot more of them in Africa. That's it.
The probability is 100% right here. You
Yeah,
don't
and
have
it's
to
100,
go to Africa.
and that 100%
It's
is
still
tripling
100%.
and so
You
and
can't
so
go
on and
higher
so
than
forth.
100%. You cannot go.
You
Listen,
just-
if Mike is right
You
here,
got
if Mike,
you got an animal that you're worried about 100% right here, and there's just more of that animal. That's my argument.
no, but that's wrong because all it takes is one. If whether you in New Jersey or whether you in Africa, if it's 100 lions right there, you think all 100 of them are going to come kill you? No, somebody's going to look at the pack. They're going to make their little roaring sound. Yo, look how small he is. I got this one. Let me go. You know what I'm saying? He's going to run over here by himself. He's going to kill you. All they're going to do, they're either going to be laying there or they're going to be looking at what else to kill, regardless of how many it is over there versus over here. If Mike is outside shooting and there's 20 niggas across town shooting, Mike is still a killer. Like, regardless of how,
the bullets are closer to you
not
here.
Gonna matter. If Mike is outside with 20 other killers, you think all 20 of these niggas, if they want you dead, you think all 20 of these niggas gonna shoot you? Just because there's more killers out here? Is it any more dangerous because there's 20 killers right here?
You just have more of a chance running into a killer. That's what I'm saying.
He's right here in front of you.
Okay. You okay? Again, a killer is a killer, sure.
Right,
But,
and that's all I'm saying.
What will make me more uncomfortable is the fact that I'm around more killers.
So you're comfortable around one lion, is what you're telling me.
Not saying that I'm comfortable
No, Mike, did he not?
The fact that there's discomfort being around a killer. Period.
So
But
if
being
we go to the safari,
being around a killer around every turn is even.
We
more
go to the
frightening.
safari and we see one lion because it was more than one lion anyway. But we see one lion, you good?
No, I'm just like, oh shit, it's a lion. Like, hopefully the shit doesn't follow me or whatever. Yes, I'm always gonna be uncomfortable around that lion.
That's all I'm saying.
But now, going further into the safari or whatever, this, because the populations of that lion is low in Jersey, I'm assuming, compared to the population in Africa, they're around every fucking turn. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm worried about.
But the thing is, and that, to the best of my knowledge, it was like at least maybe like a little bit over a handful. So I'm gonna say about 6 or 7. But bruh, that doesn't matter because all it takes is one.
I'm not taking away for the fact that that's
You
what it takes.
like no, you definitely taking it. Like no. You're making it seem like because it's not 100 in Africa, you could go chill around 6, 7, or around one other lion.
Well, to me, in Africa, there's no breaks. It's just like, all right, cool. There's this one little area where we're finally away from whatever animals that gave you the discomfort. All right, cool. I at least break for 5 minutes. Breathe for 5 minutes. I don't believe that's possible, or that's less possible in Africa because, again, they're around.
It is, because the safari doesn't cover all of Africa. It's just a part of a forest.
To me, a safari in Africa is just every day in Africa. Literally,
No,
the only thing that makes it a safari is the fact that you're in the Jeep and we call it a safari.
Why do you call it a safari? Why do you call it a safari, though?
But in New Jersey, we built that safari.
We're
bringing these things to imitate what actually is in Africa. That's not a safari. That's just riding a Jeep every day on a Tuesday.
But the animals can still kill you. So it's an imitation that's like to the T.
And my point is,
I also think like we might have different definitions for safari or something, because like it just no, bro. So what you're saying is, as long as we're in Africa, which by the way, it's the same stretch of mileage.
Yeah, same
for safari.
It's just more worried to me because we're in a continent that actually bred.
That's your idea. That's just your idea.
I see where he's coming from though. I know what he's getting at. Like our idea of like if the killer is here, then of course it's going to be dangerous. His idea is we're expanding that outward, so everywhere is death.
The perimeter of
that's
the
same. But what I'm saying is like, it's the safari here is not. No, it's not the same there, because there it's natural. But as far as like structure, it's the same.
Yeah, like you're both right. I understand. Like
I'm not trying to dilute what it is.
No, he definitely was though. Like you can listen. You can listen. You can listen back. You was definitely brushing.
It was not my intention to dilute that. It's like, yeah, it's still the danger. The danger is still there.
No, you literally was saying like, it's New Jersey, nothing the lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like this is why we record. You know what I'm saying? This is why we record. Like you can't like. All I'm saying
we
is
miss conversations like this.
All I'm saying is that
when I heard you first say safari, for one, it was just like, oh yeah, safari. Like, oh man, when you was in Africa,
yeah.
And then you was like in Jersey, it was like, oh okay, but then, but still the danger is still.
So
there.
going forward, you know how the zebras and shit on the loose, and Upper Marlboro and all that.
Yeah, let's not talk about zebras because them niggas are they're horrible.
No, listen. The day that we see a lion around here, he's not allowed to flinch. He's not allowed to jump.
Hey,
he's
facts.
not. Yeah, he's not allowed to do none of that shit because we're not in Africa.
No, the dangers are still there.
No.
It's just more of that danger is there.
No. You good with one. You good with 1 to 6. Remember, you good. This ain't Africa. So when everybody start running, you got to be front line.
When I take that run in Upper Marlboro, it's more of a chance of me getting away from that in Upper Marlboro because there's less of that danger there.
How? You can't outrun a lion. You can't. Right? You see how you think? Look at how you thinking.
Okay, all right, so if you just literally just said if everybody else is going to run, so if that's the case, then why the fuck anybody's running?
We scared.
Yeah.
We been said we scared.
Okay,
we said
so
you the one that's like, it's not Africa.
I'm not saying that I'm not scared, shit, but I have more of a chance of getting away from it because the population of that is low.
You're not going to outrun one lion. You're not going to outrun them. You're not.
So again, what is the point of anybody running then? If you know for a fact that you can't outrun a lion, why the fuck are you going to run?
Oh, we going to try.
Yeah.
I'm saying you're
exactly.
I'm saying the way you've been talking, you're not allowed to try.
First
the way you've been talking, you better take that nigga on. Hey, matter of fact, Mike, we not running because Mark gonna take him on.
You trying to paint out the picture that I'm not afraid of it. Period. No, I'm afraid of it. It's
Mike,
just, what I'm saying is there's more of it. That's the part that put more fear into me.
And what I'm saying is, if it's 100 lions outside, they're not all going to attack. It's the same thing.
All right, question.
One lion is going to run up and kill him.
If there's a farm where there's a family and they are known from notoriously being all over that farm that kills people, would you be comfortable being in a domain where, like, you're going into town? Would you be comfortable being around that one killer or being in that farm, on that farm where him and his family that are also killers Would you be comfortable being on that farm or like being in that town where it's just that one?
How accurate is the one? That's the question.
What do you mean he's a killer?
All
of them are
if
killers.
He's Michael Myers, then it's not gonna matter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Either way, you
what I'm
gonna
saying
die.
is like,
Exactly.
you're gonna be
Say it
uncomfortable.
one more time,
Okay.
Mike. Say it one more
Either way,
time.
you gonna fucking
Say it
die.
one more.
You're gonna be uncomfortable being around that one killer. Naturally, of course, they're a fucking killer. It's just inhumane. He's a killer. How could you think about killing a person? Sure, but you still have a chance of getting away being in that town because it's just that one. Compared to you, I'm gonna be on that farm. Where there's more people, there's more of a possibility of running into a killer because there's more of them there.
If he's a killer, he's gonna kill you regardless. If he has a gun, like, are you saying like you're not gonna it's the chance of seeing him, so you're not seeing the actual killer?
So what you trying to sacrifice everybody else?
No, Mike. So what it is it's scary being around a killer, yes, but I feel a little bit more comfortable because I have more of a chance of getting away compared to being around several other killers because now I have a chance of running into more.
But it's the
danger
same. It's the same thing.
More more covers more ground is what I'm saying. So
when it comes,
like,
but
it
killing,
diminishes the
I feel like
chances of me getting away.
I feel like killing is in the gray
obviously.
area of that though, of that logic. Killing isn't because one person can cover a lot of ground with killing. We seen niggas do mass shootings. We seen
like with traps and stuff like that. Sure,
I'm not even with that. I'm talking about with like mass shootings and like all types of foolery. Like killing is kind of like in that gray area. Like one nigga, if he's a killer, he can cover some ground.
Mm-hmm.
One nigga could put in enough work where it looked like a coup did it.
And just compared to there's that, sure, but compared to being in an actual environment where this is where they roam, this is where they sleep, they lay their head, they reside, this is their environment, this is their playground. That's also, again, that puts more fear into me compared to just being around that one. Now, yes, 50% I'm afraid of being around a killer.
Okay, there we go. He only scared 50%.
And then,
all right, so you can only run halfway.
I'm just doing a comparison. I'm just throwing numbers out there. 50%, I'm being afraid of being around a killer. But that 50% is going to triple because I'm around more killers. Because
50% can't triple.
Yeah,
it's only 100%.
Could double.
Nigga, like I just said, I'm just throwing numbers out.
Bro.
Yeah, obviously you are, but like like I said, it's just the numbers is obviously going to heighten because I'm now around even more killers. I'm not saying that I'm not scared at all. I'm just saying obviously it's just going to be it's more fearsome because you're around more killers, and that's why I'm saying with Africa. Yes, I'll be fearful as fuck being in Jersey because now I experience and realize that there's a fucking lion here. I'm definitely going to be even more scared, triple that because now I'm in Africa where they are actually here. They're born here. They're compared to them being brought to Jersey and to them being born in Africa. The numbers
that doesn't mean that. That still doesn't mean nothing though. Like Mike said, you could kill 20 people here and then move somewhere else. You're still a killer. A killer is a killer, bro. Like
I get what
I understand what he's saying, but I'm like, it just takes one.
Yeah, like
it definitely takes one.
I mean, with somebody shooting,
just
it takes
the
one bullet to
of
kill
being
you,
around,
but it's harder to dodge 100
being
bullets.
around more is the frightening part for me.
But the thing is, bro, if somebody's shooting at you, if one person is shooting at you, it's not just one bullet anyway.
Yeah,
it's multiple.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
If
say you go to war, right? You got a gun in your hand, and there's also others with a gun in their hand. Are you gonna? You're gonna be fearful of the chance, of course, because you can get shot too.
Right,
so
that's an even. That's because that's an even field. That's an even battlefield, though.
You're in a field with 4 men.
You versus a lion is not 2 niggas with guns. It's not me with a gun versus Mike with a gun. Me versus a lion is like,
all right. So
Mike,
if you
Mike trying to attack me and my legs are tied up, my arms.
If you were a
you
hunter,
know?
right? Of course. So if you were a hunter, right? So of course, obviously, you know that primarily that lion can kill you because it's just that's what it's bred to do.
But you have a gun,
and then you have a gun, and you still be a hunter.
You're
but
not gonna have that at the start. You're not gonna have that, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like putting things out there though.
Right,
like,
but based on what you said,
niggas ain't Rambo.
right? You're not gonna have that.
So Well, at this point, it's just like an open and closed case. Everybody should just not go to a safari.
No, I mean we just gonna agree to disagree. But I'm just saying, like, it just takes one
It's
line.
just for one, it's a thrill and fear to go on a safari. Period. Now, and compared to going to Africa, it's just like you here in Jersey, you got this one patch here in Jersey.
See, there you go. No, there you go. Like, it's the same thing in Africa though. Like, there's a trail.
Africa is a whole continent. It's not just that patch.
So all of Africa is a safari.
Nah.
Exactly. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
At this point,
no, it's not.
Anytime you jump in a Jeep and drive,
it's a pathway that they're driving
Africa
on.
has cities,
right?
Like actual cities with buildings and shit.
The safari, like you said, the safari here's are imitated from Africa.
Okay, in the jungle in Africa.
No, we're not. No, we're not talking about the jungle.
I mean,
wherever you got
safaris
the
aren't in
animals
jungles.
and
right.
Technically, safaris are in open plains, but
right. Pathways on open plains.
You know what I meant.
No, because what you're saying is way different than what it actually is. Like I said a few minutes ago, I think our definitions of what safari was different. So now that proves that right. Like, bro, come on. It's not. All I'm saying is to take one line to kill you, no matter where you at. We can be in Maryland, one line's going to kill you. Like, percentage is super high from a lion killing a human, no matter how many other lions around. Like, you're not outrunning a lion. You're not out fighting a lion. You're not doing nothing to beat a lion without, like, weaponry or anything.
Yeah, because honestly, with it being like lions in general, like if you traveling out in the safari in Africa, I understand, Mark, where you coming from. Like, there are more of them because there's more space for them to be at.
Right.
Yeah. But if you're going to a specific place in a safari in like New Jersey, like, of course they're gonna be in just a small little area. Mm-hmm. However, that still
which still is enough to put a fear because you still have a possibility of dying.
Yeah,
it's just the number of the possibility. The
number
of possibilities is
exponentially high there.
In a different
but
area.
It's not though. It's not. Like, it's not. Like, it's not.
Okay.
So if the number is so super high, how come more people die like the safaris in this country than over in Africa?
Okay. What I think
because people are stupid here.
No. It ain't about being stupid. Why are the animals killing more here than the natural habitat of Africa? If it's that exponentially higher, it's a reason why, bro. Like. I
wasn't saying like it's higher in that area.
You just said it.
No.
Anybody listening? We were literally recording. We're literally recording.
I'll retract that statement because it was misleading. So what I'm saying is like maybe what Mark is getting at, like we can travel outside of that safari and go home.
You could do that in Africa.
It's
the same thing. It's
the
same thing.
I get it.
No, you don't, because you keep saying like it's the same. Like the whole Africa is not a safari.
To me, the perimeter of a safari in Jersey is a lot smaller than
Have you ever been to it though? No.
I mean,
so how can you now he's just assuming.
Keyword. That's why I said assume. I assume.
I mean, that's what I was getting at from his point of view. I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
I don't need you to. No, I swear, I don't need you to. Like, I know what I've been there. I know, like, bro, come on now. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, all I'm saying is it doesn't matter. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't.
All I'm saying is it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
100 lions, one line. And like I said, the place didn't even have just one line. All I'm saying is it takes one line. Like, that's all I'm saying, bro.
Of course. Just one line is enough to end a couple of people. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Well, all I'm saying is all it takes is one. Like, whether it's 20 killers or one killer, like, to be killed, all it takes is one. Yeah. When's the last time you seen killers jumping a nigga?
Like, I mean, hyenas.
I mean, shit.
Well, they're smaller.
Yeah, I was gonna say if a killer want to kill you, and if it's whether it's one or it's a group, they're gonna do what they want to do.
They're smaller.
So speaking of hyenas, you know the niggas.
First of all, do you know how big a hyena is?
They're not as big as lions.
They're not
as big as lions, but no, like an African hyena are fucking large.
They're about the size of like
they're dumb big
like
than what people perceive them to be on TV.
Doberman, what the fuck is it? A golden retriever or some shit?
Yeah,
like about that size.
That's small though compared to a lion.
Compared to a lion.
Yeah, that's small.
Like we talking like a Saint Bernard or something. Like
certain ones now, but there's
could
actually
you
there's actually hyenas that like.
Do you feel like you could fight off a golden retriever?
I mean, sure, but at the same time, like it's not an African hyena though.
I'm just saying, like something of that size, though.
Of that size, I would feel less intimidated.
Right.
However, I know what hyenas are capable of because they have the strongest bite force of any animal on land. So
I would have to look that up because I feel like it's other stuff that have pretty strong bite forces too. But what I'm saying is, if it's just one, he said a group. So obviously, anything rabid in a group, your chances are low. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, like against one, you wouldn't feel the same way as if you saw one lion.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't feel like it's anything that's bigger than you're going to get
regardless. So you're definitely going to feel the fear irregardless because you're around something.
I mean, it's something you haven't dealt with before. Well, at least I haven't dealt with before. I don't know about you. You might have been around.
Yeah, he probably was. Well, it's not in Africa. It's only it's in Arizona. I don't have to worry about it.
It's just like, for example, like when we go to the woods, like in Frederick County, the idea of the fact that, well, there have been a couple of sightings of black bears. And then if the number was to come up, well, now the couple of sightings have turned into 5. It's just like, damn, the population is getting bigger. I don't even know if I want to come to Frederick County anymore.
I don't want to go to Frederick at all.
I'm not going if they say it was one.
Yeah, well, like it's just like the idea is fearful, but it's like, what is the chances of running into that one compared to running into the higher number? Like then once if you got more of a more of the population is more widespread now. So the chances of you running into a bear now is higher.
If we at school and somebody be like, damn, it's a killer in the building, I don't care that, well, odds are I might not run it. I don't give a fuck. Nigga said it's a killer in the building, Slum. We need to get out the building.
Well, now with that, it's also more fearsome because you don't even know who the killer is. I
don't give a fuck about that. He's a killer. He's a killer.
As long as I know the killer ain't me.
Yeah, but see, the thing is,
that would be a plot twist.
What make you want, as to you wanting to get out of the school, is because of the fact there's a large population of people, and you don't even know who the killer is. It could be anybody.
I don't give a fuck. If it could be my best friend. I can pick. All right, damn, they saying like
so
Rob.
Are you saying
they saying that Rob the killer.
Are you saying the scenario is that you know who the killer is?
If I know who the killer is, it's not going to make me. I need to get out that building.
Okay.
What do you know in the killer? What is that going to do?
Now, what my point was out of the scenario is again, of course, we know that there's a killer here. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's just like literally if you and the killer are the only two people in that building, of course you're going to want to get the fuck out, period, because that means you're in a domain where you're basically floating in a domain where the killer is going to run into you. If you decide to stay there.
So if the school is full of people, you're not going to want to get out.
Well, if the school is full of people, I'm definitely want to get out because I don't know who the killer is because it's the population.
If you know who the killer, if you knew who the killer was,
the killer is a lot higher because one, it's more people there, and I don't know who the killer is.
I mean, but
so it's a higher probability of it being me running into the killer. The killer could be next to me, or it could be.
No, I'm saying if you know who the killer is, though. Like if you know who he is,
if I know who,
and it's a building full of people,
I'm still gonna want to get out. It's just that
you're not acting like
I'm just both not. Of these,
I just don't feel like I'll be as
the same result.
Right. All I'm saying, bro, whether it's one killer or many killers, once a nigga establishes that there's a killer around, what's the average nigga gonna do?
Leave.
I mean, the end result is always gonna be the same. You're gonna leave. It's just that it's more frightening and the more adrenaline is pumping because
all right. So when we outside shooting one day and niggas get to shooting, Mark's not allowed to flinch, jump. I don't want to hear nothing about no nigga shoot. Nah, I don't want. You better not even break character.
It's funny that you even said it because there has been a time I actually walked towards the gunshots at some point. So God only knows what my adrenaline is going to do.
Right. So it got to be like that every time going forward. So while you see everybody running, you got to go towards the guns.
Yeah, you do the Scooby-Doo shit.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to follow the Scooby-Doo shit. I just know I had a little brother out there, so I was just like, fuck it, well, I got to get my little brother. So.
Okay, that's different.
That's different.
Yeah, that's much different.
We talking about without no extra incentives, like us just out there doing our thing. That's what you got it. Ain't no life-saving tactics, no nothing.
Hey.
Yeah, you gotta be Superman. You gotta have on your tank top like you got on now.
Well, sometimes when you diminish the probability of the fear and the possibilities, I mean, you're willing to do anything. But like I said,
good.
that's God only knows what that adrenaline is gonna do.
It sounds good.
Yeah, until you realize this ain't the Matrix.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Look, I mean, sure. Possibility of you dying is still there, but like if you diminish it and be like, well, fuck it, if I can just take the deep breath and just kind of like get past that thought, just even just a little bit, you know, it builds courage within you.
It don't matter what you think about. It's about what the killer is thinking about.
Okay. Exactly. Like, but look, and you taking deep breaths ain't going to do nothing. Like after you exhale, he's still around.
Hey,
like, damn, he breathing pretty good. Click clack.
I mean, shit. If you're gonna die, you know, you die. There are some killers just like, all right, well, look, fuck it, I'm still gonna kill you anyway. But there are some killers where it's just like, well, damn, like there's no fear in it. Kind of takes the fun out of it, or whatever.
You acting like
it's
like
right.
It's
like dealing with a bully. It's like yeah, well, you know, I'm feeding off of the fear that you have within me. And once you kind of diminish that fear, it's just like, well, it's just less horrible.
A killer is way different.
You
than
think if you started breathing at a polar bear would just be like, nah, I'm not gonna fuck with cuz?
No, I'm not saying that at all. It's just that like it's less discomforting for you because really what builds the fear is the shit that's happening up here in your mind. For one, that's what's really terrifying the fuck.
But it's gonna result in pain regardless.
More than likely.
I'm not saying the pain is not gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. It's just that it's less discomforting because what adds on to the discomfort of the physical pain is also the shit that's going up here in your mind.
That's technically how you feel when you go into the water and shit. As long as I don't know that I'm gonna feel pain, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, if I was to actually diminish everything that's going on up here, because I told you, the more woke I am, or the more shit that I discover or hear about or read about or see on TV, that's what's actually contributing to my fear of the fucking ocean. But if I was just to say, fuck it, well, you know what? I'm actually going to conquer my fear and have courage and let go of all the shit that I just thought about or that I took in on my mind, then of course I'm just going to go and do it because it's no longer up here anymore.
All right, and all you need is like, a little bit more of that talking to, and then you deep sea diving.
That's what I said earlier. That's exactly what I said earlier. Yeah. Like, bro. Like,
but right now, I'm clutching on dear life with that whole possibility, just because.
But like, it's a possibility.
I'm being closed-minded about it now. I'm just like, you can't tell me shit.
Oh no, I'm closed-minded as fuck on that. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
But it don't sound like you as closed-minded as you trying to say you are though.
About what?
Like the deep sea diving.
Oh yeah, right now I'm definitely closed-minded about these.
See, right, because he keep throwing out the little. He keep throwing out the little hints and leave it open for later on.
I'm setting my ways about the DC diamond because like it's already said and done. Like I'm not gonna allow you try to talk me into it. Period. Because
you just gonna talk yourself into it.
That's what I decided myself.
I think once you go snorkeling a couple of times, it's gonna be a wrap. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, like, man, I wonder what else is down there.
Snorkeling it's just like me. It's like a curiosity thing still. Like I still feel a little safe with that because I can still see the beach. I can't see the beach in the deep sea.
Yeah, you can. It depends on how far out you are.
Well, first and foremost,
the drop-off point is actually very short.
Underwater, first of all, I got to get back to the surface, which is already working itself, and I don't even know if I'm capable of doing as such.
Here we go.
So,
like, it's literally whales like beach distance. Big whales, like sperm whales and shit, like beach distance. You can see from the beach.
What's the number of you seeing a sperm whale at what, like Chesapeake Beach?
How the fuck would you want?
I don't know.
This nigga.
Tell me, where are you going to see a sperm whale at Chesapeake Beach?
I wouldn't rule it out happening.
I'm not saying that it's impossible.
But you be traveling though. That's the difference. Like you go to beaches everywhere.
Like the beaches that I've gone to, like the only I've been to the beaches in Jamaica, of course, or the beaches over there in Canada, but
okay,
like I'm not going to like deep, big oceans and shit. The beaches that I've been here, like in Maryland, Chesapeake Beach, Chicoteague Island, Assateague Island, not where I know for a fact that I'm going to see sharks. Shit, I've only been to the beach only one time in my life in Florida. I was that like. Over there, it seems totally different because they actually have high numbers of gators and sharks or whatever there. But, like, beaches that I've been to, it's just, I haven't experienced shit like that. The most dangerous thing I've dealt with at a fucking beach here in Maryland is a jellyfish.
You seen the jellyfish?
Yes.
That's sweet.
And that was good. That wasn't good enough to let you know.
At that point in time, I didn't even want to get in the water because of the number of jellyfish that was there. But then, like, for me, it's like an out of sight, out of mind type of thing. But also, what made me more courageous enough to go to a beach now is because, one, I don't go to a beach often. So it's less chance of me experiencing a fucking jellyfish or whatever. So, like, I don't go to the beach, like, every few months? No, I haven't gone to the beach in, like, increments of years. So it's just like, all right, cool. Well, I haven't been to the beach in a while or whatever. So like the experience of me dealing with a fucking jellyfish or anything that frightens me is low right now because damn, what was the last time I dealt with that?
Nigga, when I was a kid, I was skeptical on shit being in my bathwater with me.
Facts.
Nigga.
Super facts.
I don't think I probably.
But he was
have
already
times like that.
already going to the beach and shit. So it ain't
Yeah.
Like certain things also frighten me at a certain point. Like when I fucking watch Rugrats and I thought I can go down the fucking drain.
Okay.
So you
So
believe shit like that, but
A
Well, first of all,
jellyfish.
Of course, I believe. Of course, I believe that I was a kid.
I didn't believe that as a
Nigga,
kid.
okay with a jellyfish though.
Did you believe that as a kid?
Not really.
That you can go down the drain?
Nah. I looked at the size and my size and I was like, there's no fucking way.
Oh yeah, that's right, Mark. You is. All right, I got you.
Like, I believe that with shit in the dark that will probably
Yeah, I believe that.
kill
yeah.
me and shit. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, still do every
Yeah,
once in a while.
definitely still do.
Yeah.
However,
What was that?
yeah.
All right, y'all.
Don't even watch horror movies in the living room and shit. I gotta be in my room with the
Yeah.
door closed and everything.
All right, y'all. Don't start no bullshit tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't even like being in big houses for shit like that.
Uh-oh. I know you like that.
Yeah, Mark wanna be in big ass houses. He be in the living room.
What you doing for Halloween, Mark?
I don't know.
Haunted house.
We should do a podcast about that.
Yeah, you know, I just want
What?
to go see
A
some
Halloween
thrills.
podcast or something.
Some what?
A Halloween podcast or something.
I mean, could.
Definitely
I mean, we had to release it specifically that day on Halloween.
have
That's
some
what I was
little
thinking.
sound effects.
What day is
Ghosts
Halloween
and
on
whatnot.
anyway?
I don't know.
I don't know. This is like my first time even paying attention to Halloween in like years.
Man, what? That's because we doing that film shit for Halloween, man. Oh, you want to mention that?
Well, I wasn't. I was just going,
Gloss over it, I guess.
yeah.
But either
we'll-
way, bro.
We'll be doing a bunch of short films and Halloween themed comedy skits and whatnot. Also, breast cancer awareness month too.
That too.
Yeah, gotta look out for my girls.
It's kind of weird, like, it's in the same like. thing
Yeah, it's the
for
same month,
Halloween.
right? Yeah, this scary stuff and titties.
Shut up, bro. Like, one thing beautiful, the other thing is horrifying.
Yeah, but you bring them both together though.
Technically, breast cancer is horrifying regardless.
It is. You're right. I'm just thinking about titties. My bad. Yeah, my bad.
Completely left on this whole thing. Just completely left.
Yeah.
Typical day on the BTN podcast. You
Mhm.
know, virgin on all types of subjects that really don't relate.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just, like you said, the ADHD podcast.
Yeah, but turned out good though.
And what? Like, we've been going for, like, 2 hours or
I was
something?
gonna say, I think this
A little
is
bit over-
definitely over
little
the
bit over
typical
2.
time.
Sheesh.
205.
And the funny thing is, like, we ain't even get halfway through the shit we wanted to get through for.
Not really.
Yeah.
Because this nigga wasn't
I
going
felt like we made some points, but not enough valid points. You know?
Yeah, because you just started
'Cause we just kept
just
going from
rambling.
boom,
This
boom.
Yeah. I mean, but
we got a lot of the points across and shit, but we will probably jump back in this subject later on.
yeah.
Maybe like good 20 or something episodes on.
This subject is just as deep as it actually really is, literally. So
Now, man, want to end off with some philosophical shit.
Yeah, I mean, he gonna be exploring the ocean and all that
Yeah,
shit. So,
exactly.
man.
My man gonna be on a submarine and shit. This nigga gonna have a submarine themed room.
What you say earlier? The little pod,
I'm
John?
like, I must be living my
The
last days
submersibles
if
and
that's gonna be the
shit.
case.
Nah, I don't know. You already entered towards it, so I don't,
This nigga about to be the next James Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
About to travel to the Marianas Trench and shit and try to go to Challenger Deep, which technically is the further down than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right, bro. You don't catch me there. But
I don't
let me know
why y'all-
what happens when you go.
I don't know why y'all think I'll be the one.
Yeah, you'll be the
I ain't the
You
one.
You ain't scared of nothing, man.
You're not.
Yeah.
They can talk about like he'll be sitting in the back of the submersible just meditating and shit. Like, as long as I breathe,
Yeah.
nothing's
deep breath.
gonna get me.
Oh, it's just one megalodon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be way more scary if it was 5 or 6 of them, but it's just one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just on Chesapeake beaches.
Yeah.
Nothing's
this
nothing's
Maryland,
gonna happen to me.
this Maryland waters. This ain't the Red Sea.
Yeah, you know the giant squids out here aren't really that scary for real. They just exist.
Yeah. Just, do a little vlogs, take pictures, let us know how it is, man.
Even though it's gonna be just like we was talking about earlier with the little stand shit. Remember, I wasn't supposed to send this shit out, and that's like the last thing. That'd be the last thing he ever put out. Hey,
yeah, that's funny.
Hey, we're gonna be that guy. I'm posting a picture on the beach. Hey, nigga, what the fuck is that behind you though?
I mean, that's a female
you go down there, you ain't gonna make it back to the beach, my nigga.
And if you do, you ain't gonna be able to tell him shit.
Exactly.
You make it back, I know you're gonna be a deep sea diver then. He is that.
He gonna be a deep sea diver, either that or he gonna be scarred for life.
No, that too.
Man, gonna be in an insane asylum.
No, he not one of them people though. He like that crazy shit. So I don't think he's gonna be scarred.
He gonna be trying to find a way to live down there and shit. Gonna be just like that little that movie he was talking about.
Underwater.
Oh, yeah. That means he can go get genetically modified then, right?
Fuck no.
You disagree earlier now. It sound too good. That sound good, don't it?
I'm not gonna get genetically modified just to live on the water for. No, I'm good here.
Look, he's saying it with a smile.
Got
a smile on his
face. And everything,
I'm good here.
They gonna be flashing everywhere.
Yeah, everybody say they good here today. I can breathe underwater. But look, teasing. Look at
he be out there with some boxing gloves on, trying to find himself some orcas. I'm trying to catch the fade, cuz.
Yeah, I can swim now.
They give you gills in the fin. You ain't gonna fuck with it.
I mean, if I got gills in the fin, I ain't got no choice but to fuck with it.
Nigga, look. You can't tell me nothing.
I mean, I got gills, bro. Now I gotta live in the water because I got gills now. Unless I can live on fucking land with them gills.
There's fish that can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that actually.
Don't mean they gotta take your lungs out. Might sell your lungs.
Well, actually, fish that can do both. Technically, it's not that they really. It's because they have gills. It's because they have the lungs to do so. It's the lungs that do it.
You got lungs, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but I don't got lungs for water.
You gonna have gills. You just switch up and come out the water, use your lungs.
Yeah, that's just helping me filter the water out. But if them gills kind of put me at a disadvantage where I can't be on land anymore, I ain't gonna have no choice but to stay in water.
Oh, you gonna have both.
Yeah, you just gonna, like I said, you gonna catch the fade with the orcas and shit.
Be Aquaman.
Yeah, and we already know what happened with the nigga Abe. He said he want to be Aquaman and shit.
Yeah, I would.
So, like, the shit that we talk about is down there. This nigga would want to control it. And so there's no telling them about it.
I'm Aquaman. I ain't scared of nothing in the water. Niggas better be scared of me. The Megalodon. Attack land.
Hey, bro, but there are fish that will come up on land and shit. He could just send them niggas.
Yeah, crabs. Little annoying niggas and shit. You know, niggas ain't gonna be able to do too much separately, but you send a million crabs and shit. niggas will be sick. Lobsters.
So they just don't send them to Maryland.
Oh, nah. I'm sending them, the Maryland crabs. That's what Maryland known for. So send them to Mark House and shit.
Just send them to Mark House? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Had sent him to Mark House just so you could prove a point to him and shit.
Nah, I'm like, bring him back. Go get him. Bring him back. Bring him to me.
Nigga get carried on by a bunch of crabs.
Bunch of crabs and shit, yeah.
Nigga just passed out on a
wild
bunch of
as
crabs laying there. Hey, bro. Oh, man, I'm crying. Like, chill the fuck out, bro.
Nah. We was having a conversation a long time ago. If you could be any superhero, who'd you be? I pick Aquaman.
Yeah, I think this was around the time where they were talking about the black people getting their powers and shit like that.
Yeah. Fucking liars. I just want to be believing niggas, man.
Hey, yo, that's why I made that.
I'll probably be one of the people that literally defines the reason why human beings shouldn't even really have powers.
Me too.
Because I would probably want superpowers that's gonna allow me to do fucking anything.
Yeah. I'm a villain. I already told niggas time in and time out. I get any type of power,
I don't know about
villain.
Like doing villainous shit, but there's going to still be some things that I'm gonna probably still do to try
You
to
can be
take
a villain.
advantage of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he definitely gonna
Like,
be.
man,
I'm talking to you.
You're not allowed to go to this perimeter. What? Fucking teleport to the other side and shit. Just like break a few rules here or there, but other than that, like
Might be anti-hero.
you know,
If
being
not, though, you're gonna be a
villain as
villain.
far
I don't
as,
know
like,
about
doing
anti-hero.
things that are really
You gonna be a villain.
to do things to purposely negatively affect somebody. I don't think I'll do. I'm gonna just do. Break
Man, it depends on what the person is. And shit like,
Hey, you always start off like that, but you inch towards stuff.
Yeah, I just like to do the rebellious things.
You're
I'm gonna be a rebel.
You halfway there.
Like, you're
yeah, you
easily
halfway,
correct.
halfway
I'm
there.
just like shit, bro. Like you
Alright,
know,
so let me ask
like
you-
no,
let me-
this is Area 51. You're not allowed to be.
So let me ask you.
Why
Let
not?
me ask you a question. Are you tired of people treating you like you ain't worth nothing?
I mean, I'm fed up. But
Look.
Yeah, that's all it
I
takes.
mean,
That's all it
I still
takes.
got the
the
ability,
same
I still
same
have
line
the
that every
ability-
villain spits out.
But I still have the ability to do something about that now. Shit, that's why I got hands for. Like that's what's fighting.
Imagine if your hands could kill niggas, like literally
I
kill
can
them.
kill
Like,
people now.
The first line every villain always say is they tired of how people treat.
son,
I can,
now imagine if you could
wait-
kill a
first
nigga
and-
with your
first
mind
and,
and
first
shit
and
like that.
foremost, why wait for superpowers? Because I can do that now.
No, I'm just saying. Imagine if your hands, like, all you had to do was put your hand up to someone, they automatically dead. You would probably do that because you're capable of it.
He would.
I'm capable of fucking stabbing somebody to fuck up or pulling the trigger. It's no different.
Actually, it is completely different because
Well,
at
I
that
mean,
point, like, you can't prove
there-
that you killed somebody if you just did like put your hands up to the forehead and then it just explodes. You
Unless
can't prove that.
unless
and
somebody
with a
see me do
superpower,
it.
and with a superpower is like way less percentages that you'll get like punished for that.
Yeah,
Like,
because
you-
they
Alright,
see
so
what you're
basically,
capable of.
we're just talking about basically the being capable of getting away with it.
no, I wouldn't give a fuck.
You didn't even have to you don't even have to be capable of getting away with it and shit. Like if they feel as though like you're
Technically, they're whether you got caught doing it or not, you have the superpowers. Just like, all right, well, shit. Anybody else going to challenge me because I feel like I'm gonna still get away with it? You just going to get clapped.
Now I am gonna say that anybody want to challenge me line, but all that getting away with shit, I'm not gonna care. Fight me.
Yeah, it's just still either way. You still
Come see me.
either you
I
get
wanna
caught
fight.
doing it, somebody see you doing it, or they find out you do it, or you just don't give a fuck because there's no way that somebody's gonna be able to stop you. You're still getting away with it.
But if somebody tell you or tell someone that happened, who's gonna believe them?
Right. And it gotta be it's gonna be somebody to stop. Well, I ain't gonna say stop
Well,
you,
first and
but
foremost-
if you got the powers to be a villain, somebody else got the power to be a hero.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
And the
just,
thing is,
I'm
like,
gonna
you
just be
can't
waiting.
get-
I'm gonna just be waiting for him. That's all.
You couldn't give black people like superpowers and shit. The
It's a
shit
rap.
that niggas have tried.
It's a rap for me. I already told you. I told you a long time ago. Villain. Y'all better not go in that water. Black Aquaman, he don't be playing no games. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we could make a skit about that eventually. That should be funny as hell.
Yeah,
bro.
we good.
But I'm telling you, bro, like that whole idea that fucking getting superpowers, bro. I already told you what mine is matter. Everything is matter.
Yeah.
Every single thing. Like that means I can control everything. Like I can go in the ocean with you. You can't fuck with me and shit.
I'll be able to.
You'll try.
I'll be able to.
You'll try matter
because
like,
I would still be able to control water.
you control water, but I
It
control
would just,
matter.
It would just go back and forth.
It was like a straight up standoff and shit. I could just go in the water and be like, oh, I wonder what's going on down here, and just being like a little bubble of myself and shit. Like water don't even touch me.
Which would be cool.
Son, that,
Still would be a fight though.
I mean, I wouldn't even try to fight you and shit. I'd be like, man, hey, yo, what you doing down here, cuz? Are we chilling? All right, let me sit on the couch and shit over there by the TV.
First line, good guy, bad guy. And whatever we say after that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see myself being an anti-hero in that situation.
I'll be cool there. The anti-hero be getting
I
along
guess-
with everybody.
I guess
Good
that's
guys
what
and
it
the
would
villain.
I guess I'll be
Yeah,
the anti-hero, just doing shit. Just
You gonna be a villain. You ain't gonna. You gonna be a villain.
I really think I'll be just like kind
I'm
of
gonna
like
be a villain, bro.
You gonna be a villain.
like I even thought about it. I was like, if I was the one to basically obtain a symbiote, you know what I'm saying? I'd probably be doing the fun shit like fucking Eddie Brock is doing, fucking climbing on buildings and shit, just doing fun shit. But at the same time,
Is that gonna last forever though? Because once you have fun, then what?
Shit, I'm gonna
Villain.
just keep. I'm gonna be doing dumb shit. Like I'm gonna be sitting here trying to outrun trains and shit and all this other
But that's
stuff.
that's only gonna last for a certain amount of time. It's like the equivalent to people with money.
That's just
I
so
give- I
far.
give-
It's
I give
just
him a
like
week.
y'all try to
Week.
that's
Give him a
y'all.
week.
That sounds like y'all would be a villain because like it seems like y'all trying to encourage me to do that. Me, I just want to fucking just do dumb shit. I want to see if I could try to jump up.
He
as
just-
high
he
and
said he's
slap
gonna be
a
an
plane or
anti-hero.
something on,
yeah, but
you
the
know?
thing is, like, you look at it as like, can I do this? Can I do that? So what's to say that you wouldn't say, oh, can I do this and get away with it?
Well,
Exactly.
like I said, I can still do that now. It's just that the only difference is I don't have superpowers. But I could be
Okay,
like,
then you
I
give
can try to
yourself-
push the envelope now. I wonder how far I can do, do this and try to get away with it. There's people that do that now.
Okay,
And
but you
see,
would need superpowers
and with
for it.
me-
So you have them.
With me having the morale to try to diminish like me doing shit just because I get away with it, I do that now. Like, nah, bro. Like, just I'm not gonna do this just because I feel like I can get away with it. Because there's times I definitely feel like, oh man, I can get away with this, but I'm like, nah, bro, I probably shouldn't do that.
It ain't on a level of no shit you could do and get away with if you had superpowers though.
Exactly. It's like if you could electrocute somebody to death, all you gotta do is turn all the lights out. And then just electrocute a nigga. Like, you can shut down an entire city block and nobody can ever see anything of what's
I can
happening.
do that now though. Get a couple of cords that fucking have currency going through it and still electrocute them. So
But you can't shut down an entire city block like that, though.
why the fuck would I care about cutting down a city block if I'm just worried about?
Because you can do shit like that with powers.
And that's probably what the only thing I probably would worry about to do. If it's either if I'm worried about killing somebody, shutting down a whole block, I don't give a fuck. I'm there to kill that person. If I wanted to be a soul villain, but if I had the superpowers to shut down a block, me personally, the type of person I am now, that's all the fuck I probably would do is like, oh man, I wonder if the whole whole block gonna panic if I just do this.
Yeah, that's villain. That's a villain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact, like, that was a real villainous snap you just did.
Right.
Yeah, you just Thanos the shit out of a nigga, low key.
Like I said, he gonna be a villain.
Yeah.
But now,
Like, you
like,
got
not
all of the
cons-
He gonna have fun like the first
unless-
week, and then
Yeah.
Now, considering and here, because I think of all possibilities of what somebody could use powers for. Like and I'm the type of person that literally just thinks other shit before doing anything. Now, like for example, oh man, if I was able to shut the whole power off, oh what if somebody's on life support? Then I wouldn't do it. But if I knew for a fact that there really is no chance of somebody dying of me just literally for like a few seconds, cut the power off and cut it back on. All right, cool. That's just me doing dumb shit.
This is how I know he would be a villain. We've been talking about powers for like 5-6 minutes, and he hasn't said one good thing that he'd do with his powers.
No, that's
That's
what
true.
I said. That's what I said from the beginning. I said I
It's
probably
been-
would be the definition of why people shouldn't have superpowers because I would be doing dumb shit.
All his stuff has been either fun or villain stuff. he ain't say like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the world better."
You know what
Well,
the
see,
fuck happened to my
we see,
computer
my
when
definition of a
when the
villain
power
is-
went out for
My
a second?
Right.
definition of villain is like literally purposely targeting people and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, there's different types of villains.
Yeah, like, it's villains that just like to fuck with shit. Like,
Yeah, but
Some
also
villains-
it just so happens to fuck with other people. Me, I'm going to be doing shit that I would believe or I would have to analyze and make sure that it's not affecting nobody else but myself.
so you're a villain with a moral code.
No, because it's some villains that fuck with people, and it's some villains that just on the sole purpose is to fuck with the opposite, the hero. You know what I'm saying? Like
the Joker. The Joker doesn't really fuck with, like,
and see, the thing is,
people,
I'm not
people.
even trying to even fuck with the hero. Like again, like for
Oh, yeah, you
the
crazy
whole
as shit.
Area 51, you're not allowed to go here and do something. Why the fuck not? I mean, I can teleport and teleport back right to where you see me now. Like you want to
I
stop?
mean, the type of stuff you're doing,
So,
you gonna be looked at as a villain anyway.
I'm just breaking.
This
I'm
nigga just
basically
cut off the power.
breaking dumbass rules. That's
You gonna be looked at as a
probably all
villain
I'll be doing.
anyway. You might as well be one. I'm gonna be a villain.
Yeah.
As soon as I see a hero.
It's like he's trying to convince himself that he's going to be like anti-hero or just existing.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, if I had the ability to save somebody, I would. You know what I'm saying? That there.
What the hell would you be
10
saving them
look,
from, though?
10 minutes into the power combo. Now he was.
Like, I mean, but see, that's like I shouldn't have to announce that. I already know for a fact.
No,
No,
you
we
should.
asked you
But
what you
like,
would do.
you know, if I had the ability to do that, sure, you know, I'm definitely going to save people, and I probably would find myself trying to save people more than me just doing, you know, stupid shit. But if I literally don't find nobody in danger and stuff, I'm gonna be bored. Like, you know what, man? Shit. Let me see if I can go ahead, like I said, for being able to teleport. Let me see if I could teleport in this bank and then teleport back. Just doing stupid shit.
And then you be like,
Or
can
if
I
I was to be able
teleport
to run
here,
super
get the
fast,
money, and then teleport
if
back?
I was able to run super fast,
Yeah, why would you
as long as I know
teleport
for
to
a
the-
fact it's not gonna like.
Yeah.
Why would
really
you teleport to the
affect
bank?
anybody.
Yeah, like that was his first thing. Like that, the
Teleport
first,
to the bank.
like,
What would
Area
you teleport to the
51 in
bank
the
for?
bank.
You said what?
Why would you teleport to the bank?
Just because I know I can.
You want to take no
Just
money,
like-
or why you pick the bank though?
Because like I know that's a place that we're not supposed to be. Like just doing rebel shit. Well, yeah, you know, you're not supposed to be in this safe.
Trespassing is illegal. That's still.
But who is it hurting? I didn't take nothing. I literally just teleport there and teleport back because you told me not to.
All right, but what if someone was looking at the camera, they saw that shit, and then they try to tell somebody, and then they couldn't tell anybody after that because no one believed them. Eventually, they go crazy, and then they're in an insane asylum. So that affected you.
You show the camera because you know what's gonna happen if I'm working at the bank and he do shit like that. I'ma steal money. and you know what I'm gonna say? Look at cuz teleporting in here and teleport. That's who obviously got the money. You know what I'm saying? And now, either way,
yeah, you did something negative. Regardless.
So now, he decided to do the negative shit. He's
But
just like, well, you know what,
But your decisions would spark
enabled
the
it. Enabled it, right?
Yeah, enabled it, but that's you deciding to do that, not me. I didn't do anything villainous.
No,
that's
that's
me a
what
villain.
But you said you had somewhat of a moral code coming into that.
How you gonna call me a villain because you decided to steal money because you saw that I was able to pop in and out? That's you deciding to frame me. You're the villain.
But we're making up, like we're doing the exact same thing you said you would do. You said you would think about the things that you're doing and the ramifications that come with them. That's a ramification that can come with that.
Okay,
but you're
he had the
that.
intention to do something negative.
No, just teleport
Like,
somewhere. Teleport to the grocery store.
That's directly affecting somebody.
Like you pick the bank though. Like you could teleport to the grocery store, the library, like the firehouse.
You could teleport to the middle of the park.
Yeah, no, of course, but see. Why would I need superpowers to go to a grocery store for?
What you need?
I mean, yeah, of course, it would be convenient.
Just
as
to prove
fuck.
they don't
It would
need
be
a car.
now. That's a convenience thing. But like with the superpowers, I'm gonna do shit that I cannot normally do. Like I said, go to Area 51 or fucking
Steal from a bank is something you can't normally do.
But I don't want to steal from a bank.
Say we just go to the bank.
I can still. I mean, technically, in a way, I can still steal from the bank. I can rob a bank. If I decided to go ahead and get guns and go get a bunch of niggas who think just like me to do it, sure. But
so you're saying what you think in a way that you would rob a bank? Is what you're saying?
And he's saying
No,
it. He's saying it.
saying,
He's saying
well,
it like right now, like
what
without
I'm saying,
powers.
like,
Like, you know,
without
like, I could do
powers.
shit without powers. It's just easier, more
It's the
convenient.
Tell on Yourself
It's
podcast?
more convenient to do it with powers. But see, if that's the case, why the fuck should I wait for powers to do that? I can still do that. It doesn't interest me as much because I can still do that
As
without
much.
powers.
yeah,
As much.
So-
Like you always leave
Because
room for
that's
possibility.
what I be telling you.
There's
That's what I told
possibilities.
you.
Like
man.
literally, no. I'm just
He's
saying.
not
we
gonna close
all
anything
can,
out. It's
the point
always
is, we can all do that shit. But why the fuck do I need it? If I want to rob a fucking bank, if I have the nerve enough to do it, if I want it enough, why the fuck do I have to wait for powers to do it?
When this come out, you ain't lasting another 5 days as this, bro. You nigga
I
done
mean,
told
shit.
everything.
Well, first and foremost, if you want to try to put me in jail for a possibility, I mean, shit. I mean, I guess
Conspiracy.
that is the court theory how courts operate now. But I mean, it's just like fucking retarded. It's just like
For the record, I said I would rob a grocery store, so I'll be in jail for like a week.
it's just like you're just basically going back based off a theory or a possibility. But like, what proof do you have that I did it?
You don't need it. Conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people do the little bomb threats.
Yeah.
They don't have proof that a person's gonna blow up a building, but they still get arrested, don't they? Like you can't certain threats and certain stuff you can't do. Like that's a little too
If
serious.
I had matter powers, I would definitely try and do some shit that I shouldn't do. Like I can say that. I have no problem. I'm an anti-hero. Like I will try and save people, but at the same time,
Mark is gonna be
I know for a fact that I would be tempted to do shit that I shouldn't do.
he's gonna be a villain. It's
As a matter of
two
fact,
things.
and I feel as though like with me, I will probably end up
I
like
feel
having somewhat of like a
I feel
twisted
like-
moral compass is when I will feel as
Well,
though I'm
if
justified in
I
doing
wanted to
such
be
a thing.
villain,
Right.
I could be a villain now. Shit, look at the Joker. The Joker doesn't need superpowers to be a fucking villain.
Right.
So if I was going to be a villain, then shit, why? Like I said, why wait for superpowers? Like I could do that shit now.
But
It
you're
doesn't
not, though,
interest
but
me
you-
to be
you-
a
you-
villain.
Yeah, because but with superpowers, it might interest you. You might inch towards it. Everything that you named leads me to think that you would be a
That's
villain.
just losing the power of having the mental capacity of just. Basically, you're allowing yourself to be influenced by such things. If you
It
want
might-
to be,
with
if you wanna
that-
be-
with
you could be
vast
whatever the
powers
fuck
like
you
that,
want.
it might
You
happen.
can be what you want, regardless. Like if you want to be a villain, you could be a villain.
Bro,
now.
if you can destroy your planet with the mindset you have now, you will probably do such a thing. Probably not Earth, but you'll probably try it.
And maybe even Earth.
Yeah. Like if someone told you right now, if you snapped your fingers like Thanos, half of the Earth would be gone. A normal human being would be like, there's no way I have this power. But then, and on the other hand, they'd be like, could I do it?
Damn, I wonder if I snap, is it going to be my part of Earth?
Yeah. The inquisitiveness
First
of
all,
of
that's-
human beings is like
that definitely proves that if a person was going to think like that, they definitely don't deserve superpowers because for one, you're easily influenced by somebody else.
That's not being influenced. I'll tell you right now, I could be a villain.
Curiosity
Like, you
killed
either
the
you're
cat,
influenced
bruh.
by somebody else or you're influencing yourself. That's just
I'm not influenced.
No, if you find out you have some type of power, let me paint a picture for you. You snap your fingers one time.
mm-hmm.
You destroy a rock in the distance. You had no idea what happened. You do it again. A whole fence disappears. You're like, wait a minute, then you do it again. A building is gone. Then you're like, okay, the more I snap that, the more it's leaving. It would make you rethink that. However, given the situation,
stop because I'm afraid of how far it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? That's me. I would be afraid of how far, especially if I don't know what's gonna disappear next. Eventually, I'm gonna want to stop.
Eventually,
I'm a type of person like the dude that had the power manager powers in Suicide Squad. I'll be like him. I don't want to use my powers for this and this and this because like it hurts people.
That's cool though. But in that situation, the building's gone. There's no telling what or who was in it.
Exactly.
So the building's already gone.
Exactly.
You've already done the bad thing.
Is that process? You know what I'm saying? And that's why that's what differentiates me from being a person with powers or wanting to be a villain. Now, a villain literally is just like, I don't give a fuck. Well, shit, I'm gonna keep going and keep going and keep going. If the next thing that I did was snap my fingers and a building disappeared, it's going to be like, oh, shit, what if somebody was in there? God only knows what happened to them.
But that doesn't matter now because you already did it.
But, okay, that doesn't mean I'm a villain, though. It just means, like, damn, I did some bad shit. But what makes me a villain... It
means you're a villain.
What's going to make me a villain is the fact that I want to keep doing it.
No, what makes you a villain is the fact that you did it in the first place. It has nothing to do with your willingness to continue. It has everything to do with what you've already done. If I kill 20 people now, in 20 years when I stop wanting to kill people, I'm still a villain.
So somebody that accidentally shot somebody with no intent of actually shooting them, are they a villain?
If they shot him on accident, if the gun just went off with them randomly, like on the table?
No. Like you had the intent of shooting something, but you did not have the intent of shooting that person.
You're still a villain because you had an intent on shooting something and then someone died because of it. You're still a villain. You're a negligent villain, but you're still a villain regardless of what happens. A bad deed is a bad deed regardless of when it happened or how far along it's been since it's happened. That's technically what I'm getting at, bro.
Like, I don't know. I just see the definition of villain is totally different. Like, I think a villain is a person with the intent to continually do bad shit, and regardless of them actually knowing the capability of what it's doing. Me, like, if I'm sitting there snapping because I'm just now discovering, like you said, shit starts to disappear. I'm discovering I have this power to make shit disappear, and I'm just like, whoa, did that just happen? And I'm doing it again. Like, am I tripping or imagining shit? And then the next thing you know, I see the building disappear. Like, you know, I'm like, oh shit, people could have been in there. I'm gonna feel bad. Now, if I could have did something to hopefully to bring it back, you know, I would do that. But if just more shit disappears, like, okay, I'm gonna never snap my finger. I'm not gonna want to snap my fingers ever again because I don't know what's gonna happen next or whatever. That's where it's just like, you know. Yeah, but if I just kept doing it, it was just like careless. Was like, well, look, I know that somebody could have possibly died from this. Well, let me snap again. That's villainous to me.
Okay.
But like if I had to choose from either saving or just being careless or whatever or diminishing a human life, I would choose to save.
In the way that you think you're saving. However, the deed's already done and you kill people. Now you're just on a redemption little mission because you probably already done killed niggas already. Because if a building disappears, there are people in that building regardless of if it was abandoned or not. Something was in there. So even though you feel bad, it's like, oh, I wish I could bring it back. It still happened. You're still evil for that specific deed. That is an evil deed.
So a character whose evil actions or motives are important to the plot is a villain. That sounds like something that you got to have with intention.
No, because if
you know the contribution of your actions is going to be negative and affects people or anything, that literally like taking away from or diminishing something in the world or taking the positive balance of things, that's villainous. You already know that what I'm about to do. If I know for a fact that if all I gotta do is give Ted $20, and $20 is a contribution to him buying a gun so he can go shoot a person, villainous.
That's true.
That puts you in the same category with him. Like if you knew that's what he was doing, yeah.
Yes, that's with intention, exactly, knowing. Now, but if I was giving him $20, like, hey man, I just need $20, I need help and such and such and such. Now, of course, if I find out afterwards, after giving him money, it contributed for him to do evil things, and I kept doing it, that's villainous.
But even if
But me giving him $20, not knowing what it contributed to, and I never figured it out, I never found out, that's just freak accident, unfortunately. Yes, you are an accomplice to that. You are an accessory of that equation. You are an accessory of that equation, but that doesn't make you villainous. It's just that, damn, well, I was a pawn of his whole scheme.
Okay, but in this situation, the scheme was you.
Okay, yeah, the scheme was
like you're
me.
putting it off on somebody else. The scheme was you. You
okay,
blew up
you
the building.
you having the intention to keep doing that
I wouldn't
is
say
what
you
makes you a villain. You having the intentions. It's the intentions what makes you villainous. If I know for a fact that every fucking time I do this, that, and the third is going to affect something negatively, that is what makes you a villain.
Okay, but after the second snap, that should have been enough.
Exactly.
If that's the
that
case.
second snap, it would have been enough. If I
That's
noticed
not
that a house
necessarily true.
I know if a house disappeared and I'm like,
But you,
damn,
but you
somebody
never
could have been in
refuted the
there.
second snap. You didn't refute it until I mentioned it. Like all you did was just say, "Oh, the building is gone," and now I feel bad. But you never refuted the second
I would have
snap.
felt bad because the first thing I'm gonna think of is that somebody could have been in there. But if
But
all
it
I'm doing,
happened.
if all I'm doing is snapping fingers and inanimate objects like a sign or a pole or whatever, or a fence disappears, that's not affecting nobody. Maybe.
I'm about to say, Mike, if a sign disappear.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I said maybe, because shit. If it was a traffic sign and they saying, well, stop, but don't turn, damn, well, boom.
Cause an accident.
You got to think about your actions. And if I had the time to sit here and think, well, damn, this can negatively affect somebody, and I'm going to do it anyway, that's what makes you a fucking villain.
Yeah, so after the first 20 minutes of like talking to villainous, now he gonna spend 20 minutes talking heroic.
Yeah, that's
So-
Because I know for a fact, if I had powers, if I was going to affect anybody, I'm going to do something positive. Or at least that's my
that
intention,
nigga
to
is
do something
wishy-washy
positive.
as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
But say, if I was to sit here, like if I try to save somebody, right? For example, if I had super speed, and I was like, oh, well, I see something about to fall down on them, but I'm going to run and catch them, but while I'm running, it kind of like shakes up the innards or whatever, some crazy shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
My intention was to do something good, but then I found out that it fucked up the insides. I'm not gonna want to try to save nobody again with my superpower, because I'm gonna be afraid that I'm gonna do that again.
So he's gonna let niggas die, is what you're saying?
No, I'm gonna try to save them, but I'm not gonna use my superpowers to do it.
Bro, just be a villain, bro. You explaining all this, bro, and it's just way easier to be a villain.
Cause the whole time,
That's some villainous shit right there. like just be a villain.
I mean,
like,
he's not. He
just
didn't deny
easier.
that he's gonna be a villain.
It's just
I've been
easier
I
said
to
didn't
do
deny
it.
that I'll be an anti-hero.
I've been
You're
said it.
technically trying to convince yourself that you'll be a hero.
Yeah, I would definitely try to be a hero. But if my superpowers was to negatively affect somebody, whether the deed was good or not, I'm not gonna use that shit.
Bro, like you literally, I've had conversations with you where you literally wanted to punch somebody off of some shit that they did that had nothing to do
You
with
did.
you in general.
And you did punch
I wanted
somebody
to punch
too.
somebody.
Oh
off
yeah,
of
he
something.
did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the serial stealer himself and shit.
Man.
This nigga.
Yeah, and that was off of some
Knockout.
shit. That was a reaction from what was
A
happening negatively
reaction.
towards me.
That's a lot of the shit that we're like a lot of
Yeah.
villainous
so
shit
if
starts
I wanted
with
to,
reactions.
so if I wanted to, and I know I have the power to do shit like that again, even without superpowers. So if I wanted to be a villain, why not be a villain now before waiting for a fucking freak accident to happen? For me to
because a
have
lot of
powers?
niggas just need a push.
I can be a
Yeah.
I can be a villain now. I have that push.
I feel like that would push me
I
over
have-
the edge.
I have
the-
the
you
power
have-
would push me
I
over
have the
edge.
power to make negative shit happen now. If I
You
want to
have-
be a
but you
villain,
have-
I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah, but a lot of times the reason why people don't do shit is because they have a fear of retaliation.
Fuck that.
But if
I'm
you
not-
have
no,
a
no,
if you
no,
have a superpower, there's no
when I was
retaliation.
when I do negative shit, when I'm being vengeful, I have no fear of doing of anything. at that point. I want to do negative shit.
Okay, then give that same mentality superpowers and you're a villain.
Okay, but when I realized I'm able to do that, and I can still do that now if I wanted to, I realized like, nah, bro, that's bad. So I don't want to do it. So I'm gonna prevent myself from doing negative shit. If I wanted to be a villain, it's just like, fuck it. I'm not gonna give a fuck if it affects anybody or not. I'm gonna just do what the fuck I want to do. I realized, well, shit. If regardless of how butthurt I am about somebody doing this to me, well, damn, bro. Like if I punch him, I feel bad about him. Like, man, you shouldn't have did that. Now I'm gonna learn. I'm not gonna punch nobody again. I'm gonna try to refrain from doing so. I'm gonna try to diminish the possibility of punching somebody in the face. I'm gonna have to walk the fuck away. I'm gonna just have to be mad. I'm gonna feel better about like I'd rather be mad and be like, you know what, I walked away and I didn't do that shit. Because now, if I know for a fact, if I had the time to sit here and think, well, bruh, this is really gonna affect somebody. If I can think right now, don't do that, I'd rather not do it. Because what makes me bad is the fact that I could have stopped myself and I was just like, fuck it, I don't want to stop. No, I'm gonna do it. That makes me the bad person.
Kinda.
I understand.
Like literally, I could have talked myself out of doing it, and I just like, nah, fuck it. I just want to be a badass. I just want to do it anyway. That's me. That's the negative. Now I'm toxic too.
Mark, your level of anger would blow up the world.
Right.
Like point blank, period.
Ergo, why I sit here and try not to utilize that anger. Ergo, why I try not to be angry. I don't like being angry. I don't want to do anything that involves that because I know what I'm capable of if had I lost control. If I was to sit here and be able to talk myself out of it, like, Mark, look, if you got to step outside or go smoke a cigarette and you ain't a smoker, but that's going to calm you down, go smoke that cigarette, bro. It's just like I'm going to have to sacrifice something in order to not do the shit that's really going to be very dire to that situation.
So you would smoke a cigarette versus being a villain.
Yes, and I have.
Wow, dude,
I
man.
I don't smoke. I really don't like smoking for real.
But
There's times like when I
cigarette.
find myself really pissed off, people was like, Mark, yeah, you really must be pissed off because you're smoking a cigarette. I've actually resorted to smoking a cigarette because for some reason that actually end up calming me down for some reason.
That's
just being able to and I think it's just like being able to focus.
That's
on
a
something.
piss poor coping mechanism.
But it was just, yes, it is. But just focusing on that, like literally it's just like, all right. And so it's kind of like counting to 10, but I'm actually having something physically in my hand. All right, I'm just going to keep smoking. I'm just going to keep pulling on this until it's all gone. Now it's it's distracting me from that moment.
That's what the powers could do. Imagine what the powers could do.
He's imagining
Power, like having a power.
Yeah,
if
you
I,
think
all right,
a
so
cigarette could do
if
that?
I-
Imagine
so if I had a superpower where I was like, all right, well, depending on what the power is able to do, if I had the power to really just like take advantage of this situation where I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get back at you, that's villainous shit. But if I had to use that same superpower to do something where it's not gonna affect that person or anybody else, it's just gonna help me calm down so I won't do something fucked up, then that's what I'm going to do.
All right, Mark, man.
So like
Sound good,
he'll
man.
probably end up being like, remember the first
I was
X-Men
just gonna
movie
accept the
shit?
fact that I'm just this guy.
Nah, bro. Like in the first X-Men movie, remember when they went to go get Pyro,
Nah, what happened?
and then he ended up shooting fucking Wolverine.
Oh
He
yeah,
shot
yeah,
Wolverine, and then
yeah.
niggas started blowing up cars.
Yeah.
That's gonna be this motherfucker, bro. That's gonna be him. Gonna be blowing up cars and shit. Like it's gonna be a whole bunch of niggas just disintegrating into nothing. It's gonna be just like that, bro.
All right, well, then in my case, if we're gonna talk about X-Men, I think I would be like Logan. Like this nigga was
Bullshit, you be Incredible Hulk.
this nigga was in wars and he didn't like what he was doing because he was being used as a weapon to do fucked up shit. When he realized, he was like, this is not part of the mission. No, you lied to me. Like the details was void. Like this, you basically there was something amiss. You were using us to actually take over shit and oppress people instead of us actually fighting for good. Then he was like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna be like that. I'm like, bro, like I don't want to be doing shit like utilizing my powers to do negative shit. If it's gonna help, I'd rather use it to help instead of, but not help do bad shit.
Bro, you be Incredible Hulk. That fits your personality better.
But we gotta end the podcast.
We have to
because because that
Approaching
was
like
3
3
hours.
hours
now.
in.
Approaching 3 hours now. It's good conversation, but you know,
We're probably gonna break this one in half, maybe.
maybe
Yeah,
might just
definitely
let
had to break this.
might
in
just let it
half.
rock out. I don't know. It depends.
It's alright, man. Like, you have our moments.
Part
and
1 and
shit.
part 2, man, it might help out. You
Right.
know,
Like a part two of this will last another 5 hours.
Because some people would just be like, man, I'm disinterested now. You gotta cut this in half.
Nah, I think people will listen to it.
Well, they
No-
probably would though.
No
They
dry.
would.
That's why I said it might let it rock out. No dry spots.
Yeah. But again, well, you want to take us out, Mark, since you brought us in?
All right, well, this has been another Breaking the Narrative podcast, BTN for short. And I am also Real Mark Anthony, a.k.a. the Black Card Kemp.
Oh, my God. Like, what the nigga? Nicknames
I'm
and shit.
Teddy, aka the Black Aquaman.
I'm just Tony, bro. Well, technically I'm Mike, but, you know.
The Black Tony.
How many
And-
Black Tonys are there? Nigga, tons of them. What the? All right, bro. Just take us out. Take us out, bro.
And we out of here.